Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma.
What is going on? No. Yes. Men. Right as I do that, Jeff leaves me.
Hey.
You
guys didn't tell me I wasn't dressed properly.
Well, you know, we were kind of hoping we'd catch you off guard. You know,
I was out
in your
and
skivvies.
I was out and I had a different shirt on. I wasn't prepared for that.
I was jamming to that music, man.
Yeah, the ladies are interested in Jeff and his skivvies. That's what I keep getting in my DMs. They're like, "Oh my God, please just make a calendar for Jeff. It'd be great."
They do like the tidy whities, let me tell you.
So when are you gonna put that calendar together, man?
I don't know. We'll see.
You are the king of content.
Well, if we get through 12 episodes, then we'll have a little screenshot for each month. You know? There you go. What's going on, fellas? How you been? It's been a week.
It's good to be back, man. We've been a week now. Listen, what an episode last week! I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Quite a few people upset with you, I understand.
Me? Why? It's always gotta be me, as if it isn't the three of us.
Yeah, no, it's definitely me too. I know that I've turned a few pages with some people, and you know, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. Isn't that what they say?
Hey, listen, freedom of speech is a mother effer, huh?
Until it's not what you want to hear, right?
Well, that is true.
One of the things that I have noticed over the course of the past couple of months is that this Stadia community, for as awesome as it is, it is a mixture of different types of people. You have those that are here for the technology. You have those that are here because they like Google. You have those that are here that love, well, not that they love, but they wanted to get away from toxic areas of other gaming platforms.
Right.
Those are the people that I find that are being the most toxic. And I find that to be absolutely hilarious. Case in point, first topic I want to jump into is the big news
of the
week.
Wait, Ryzak. Just in case there's new people, because I see Dude Games is in the building. Let's just explain to the guys, no yes man.
All right. I mean, Dude Games was here last week. He dropped in. He knows. Have you ever been on a Dude Game stream?
Yes.
He has no filter. So he is perfect to be in this chat watching us right now, right?
This is true.
But to your point, I'm Ryzak. That's Cowboy. That's Jeff. We're the no yes men because we ain't taking shit. Ain't that right? You don't have the duck because you're in the office.
I am.
Jeff, you really need to do more work and you look like you're behind.
Yeah, Jeff.
It's true.
So last week, let's do a little rewind. Okay. I actually changed the name of the show 2 different times. I was going to do like this community, like state of the community thing. And then I got thinking, I was like, all right, well, we just kind of blew the lid off of things last week, right? Maybe we don't need to just go into the community again. So I was like, let me pull that back. Let's find out what some news stories and things that are going on this week. And then boom, yesterday happened. And I am right back into wanting to talk about the community. See, you guys do it, not me. But we decided to start a show here where we will talk about things inside and outside of our Stadia community, as well as other topics, other gaming platforms, other news articles, anything basically that we want to talk about. And so I hosted the first week, and we got into a topic that got us blocked on Twitter. And then Jeff hosted the second week, and I went off on a rant about the first week and got blocked on Twitter. And then Cowboy hosted last week. Jeff went on a rant, and I still got blocked on Twitter. So Jeff is he's 3 for 3, and I'm
Jeff
0 for 3.
Can't do nothing wrong.
But my rant was about Conor McGregor.
Yeah, so. I know. I have a joke for you.
I think he blocked me on Twitter.
Conor McGregor joke, after the fight, they interviewed him. He said, "You can take my feet, but you'll never take me lucky arms." It's an Irish thing, Jeff. Come on.
Not Irish. Canadian.
You got some Irish in you somewhere, I'm sure.
Nope. I'm seventh or eighth generation Canadian.
Seriously. Scandinavian or just Canadian?
My great grandfather, that's enough greats, came from France.
Oh. All right. So you got a little French, hence the Genac. Okay.
You got it.
Sounds good.
If we bring Spaceman on the show, then him and I'll just talk in French.
That's cool, and I won't pay attention at all.
Like when we had John Scar and the other guy, what's his name? Not the Nerf Report, that other guy, Nerd Nest guy. Who are both Canadian, so the three of us just talk. Lloyd, the three of us just talk Canada.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll tell you the people that were on your own show.
Thank you.
Yeah,
we spent a lot of time talking Canada.
So
William was just like, I have nothing. Ray's like, I got nothing. We got nothing. Ray and William just sat there because we just talked Canadian the whole time.
Oh so God. Does this resonate with you? Hello, Terrence.
Oh, hello. Yeah. Take that down first. Hello, Terrence. I don't know what that is.
No,
you guys are both older than me, so maybe that's why.
South Park. That's the two guys, Terrence and Philip, are from Canada.
Well, that's why I didn't watch South Park.
Okay, I'd really watch the.
Yeah, it's all good. I know some of the references, not that one though. Anyway, so last week, just to recap, Anthony had a list of 37 things that were on his mind, past drama that he wanted to talk about. And some of them were old topics that you've heard before, but he wanted to get them out again. Yes. And others were newer topics, or those that maybe you hadn't heard before, which were fun to hear. But there's quite a bit of backlash that's happened since last episode in our Twitter worlds. You know
what's crazy though?
That's everything.
I don't think it was as bad though. I thought it was going to be worse.
I think I got the blunt of it. I haven't even talked to you. I think I got the brunt. I said the blunt. I think I got the brunt of it. I think it all came back at me, but that's okay. I go into chats now, and I'm the target of the jokes, and it's all good. I told you I got thick skin, man. I can take it.
You know what's crazy? I never thought that. I thought Jeff or myself would have been the person people going after, but I'm like, Ryzak's like the goody two shoe, man.
No,
Captain America.
It's
the
all
Rolls-Royce
good.
Of Captain America's.
Hey, I'll take it. I don't,
dollar store cap. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
No, you're good. I enjoy talking with you guys, and that's what this is about. And if it's like we say with everybody, if you don't want to see it and you don't like it, you don't have to tune in, because we're still going to be here hanging out and having a great time. So,
yeah.
But yeah, Twitter is Twitter, man. You have your different groups, and that's what I was kind of saying about the people that are in this community. There's a bunch of different groups. And, I don't even know how many colors are there in a rainbow, 7, 9, whatever. And if you don't, if you can't like all those colors, you're not okay with some people. And, I guess you're colorblind, so you don't even know what color's in the damn rainbow. And
that's right.
Jeff probably likes rainbows.
And
Jeff
unicorns.
is all sunshines and unicorns and rainbows.
Rainbows and unicorns over here in Canada.
I do like unicorns. I'll say that.
I just don't give a shit. So I'm going to call bullshit like I see it. And I got a little bit on the menu today. So
I was turning into an animal. I'm afraid to be on this show now with this guy.
Man, you know what it is? I'm going to tell you what it is. You're going to get what you're going to get, right? I've said it before. Right. I'm 100% me. I'm not going to tell you something today and then turn around and change my mind tomorrow. I'm not going to change the way I think or change the way I talk for other people, for likes. And, I'm not going to offer people giveaways so I can get likes and subscriptions. That's just not my style, man. You know, you either come hang out with me because you enjoy me, or you hate me, or you don't come at all. And either way, it's okay, because I'm having a great time doing what we're doing, and that's what it is. So
you'd have a better time if Rocket League was on Stadia. Just saying. Look
at Clive. Clive is in the chat saying Ryzak Unleashed. Clive is one of my favorite people because he's of the same mold. You know, he just tells you how it is, and I love it. So
listen, every chance I get, I always say it. Clive is my favorite content creator, and I haven't changed yet. Eventually, I might, because him and Laura Kenzel, they be up to some crazy stuff. And if Laura Kenzel finally get to control Clive, then I don't know.
I don't know if we get an after-hour show with Jeff taking off his clothes while he plays. You know, Clive might be in for a run for his money, because all the ladies are going to be like, "Oh, Jeff Janak."
That's right.
They like the keg. They like the keg.
my dad calls it a garage.
Get to this damn story, man.
Or he calls it a shed. Right. He says when you have a tool as big as his, you got to build a shed to put it in.
There you go.
So. All right, let's get going. This was the hot topic of the day yesterday, brought to us by the same people that bring us all of the bad news of Stadia. And
now, can I preface this by saying I have no clue what Ryzak's even talking about. Just so you guys know, we're three guys. We come together. Sometimes we have our own stuff. Sometimes we don't share everything with everybody. Sometimes we do. Today, I have no clue what he's even talking about.
I've been busy at work all week. You've been busy at work all week. Jeff hasn't even responded to our chats all week. So I was
out of town.
We're going off the cuff here. I know you've been.
I was streaming from random gaming stores in my hotel room, and.
You know what, Jeff? I want to see you stream from a Canadian Tire.
What?
I think you should make it happen.
All right.
You should walk in with your Stadia, and you should say, "You know what, guys? I want to buy a game. Oh, never mind. I'll just do it right here on my phone," and then just play and see if they kick you out. I think
what's a Canadian Tire?
Go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead, Jeff.
This came up on our retro rewind because again, Lloyd and we were talking, and it's a store that just sells everything, and it's called Canadian Tire. They sell tires, but they sell everything else. So
it's like Walmart.
It's like Walmart, but they have everything, right? So
gotcha.
And so right afterwards, I had to go to Canadian Tire to buy something, and so I took a big picture of the outside of the building, and I sent it in to William and other people who were making fun of us. But yeah,
that's funny.
It's like we had a Target, but then they left our country as quick as they entered. They left.
It's because you called it Target,
right? This is like the crazy suspense.
That's what your Oprah calls it, isn't it?
No, my Oprah.
Yeah, right.
I wish it was.
This is the crazy suspense. I bet people are like, "Oh my God, come on!" Real quick though, let me just say what's up to Mr. Urban World. He's in the building. Dude Games, right. And also Clive wrote in, and to all the people who didn't comment but are watching. How you guys doing?
Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
Are you calling up this article?
I am. I have it right here. So,
so do I.
So I jumped on Twitter yesterday, and of course, our friendly neighborhood troll, Duncan. Puts out a tweet that says something about really bad news from Stadia coming your way. Something, those weren't the exact words. I could look it up. I've got it on the other page. But then everybody, of course, goes to his chat and is like, "What news? What news? What news?" And somebody posted a link to this, saying probably this article. And so basically, it says that this pair of tidbits came from today's Game Discover company newsletter written by Simon Careless, former IGF chairperson, GDC Indie Games Summit founder. First confirmation that everyone's fears about Stadia Pro payouts were well-founded, and that No More Robots' Mike Rose was incorrect in stating that these will be additional payouts, which, to be fair, was a mistake from Simon made in last week's newsletter. It says, not so, although there are some expectations, hence the confusion. A dev source confirmed to us, a dev source, that for the vast majority of devs, Stadia Pro is switching to be much closer to the Google Play Pass-style Android premium game monetization. Now, first thing that pops through my mind here is we just had the developer conference last week where they came out and had all this great news about 85-15 split, 70% after you get to, 3 million, blah, 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 blah. That is to say, no money upfront and sole compensation being 70% of all pro subscription monthly revenue. Am I wrong in thinking that that's exactly what was said last week?
Yeah. And
you know what? This is hot news.
And who gives a shit? Just play. You don't go. No one complains about Epic. Nobody complains about Microsoft and Apple and the payouts and shit that Sony is doing. Nobody knows any of this. So they're just trying to find something. You know what? I said this a couple. I'm going to start publishing articles and just start making newsletters and just all pro shit. And
random stuff.
It's just like, who gives a crap?
Let me be honest though, right? And listen, this is no yes man, so I'm gonna say how I say it.
Do it.
To be honest with you, was Tuesday? I did the whole video of Stadia. I was being funny, but hey, I said Stadia won. They won the war because Duncan went on Twitter and said, he changes his mind. Stadia isn't gonna die, right? Now, I feel like ever since that, not just saying my video personally, probably, but he's on a tear to kind of like run Stadia down or make sure he put those articles out. Yep. Now, again, we're still cool, right? Him and I are cool, but listen, I'm going to say it how I got to say it for anybody. It could be anybody because actually I got somebody I want to pull up next. But, yeah, I just feel like I think his ego or his, like he said in his thing, this isn't I told you so moment. Like he wanted to make sure he said that.
No, it is. It totally is. And I'll prove it in a minute.
So, yeah, it's just crazy. I feel like, so what some people are doing, not just him, but they're making sure any little thing, because Stadia, we could all agree, had a long weeks and weeks and weeks of good, positive stuff. So people are trying to take anything with a microscope and kind of bring it up. Like Clive said, he said, this was the non-story of non-stories. No velocity, no credibility, not even commenting on. Yep. But
and we took a survey of one. And next. And I'm going to get there, Clive. I promise. I will. But this is like a blog post. This is like some dude.
Well, it's not even a blog post. It's like a Reddit-y type bullshit.
On the internet, just clipping certain sections of things and spitting it out. And now this is the big grand Stadia news of the week because it falls on the heels of what we talked about last week with the dev conference, right? And all the positive momentum that everybody's having. And, this is great. And then, nope. We gotta talk negative, right? So that is the first story that I wanted to talk about.
Can I do mine?
Hold on. I'll get you. I promise I will. I'm feeding right into this.
Does Duncan just have like Google alerts, and anytime there's a negative, anything approaching negative, it shows up in his feed?
It's interesting because I have his feed right here for you.
So it's just like, does he have like Google alerts set up to like negative Stadia things to pop up so that way he can just post negative shit? And can we just block him and just never talk? Why are you even following him? It says you're following him. Can you just block him and move on?
He's not evil. And I will say this, he actually adds a level of entertainment personally to me. For stuff like he's about to pull up.
Don't worry, Vat. We're gonna get to Activision and Blizzard.
It gets old though, and this is where I'm going with it. Okay. GFN. We talk about GFN. Oh, it's all sunshine and rainbows. Lost and Random not coming to Stadia at this time. Grid Legends not coming to Stadia at this time. So I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, well, let me just click on this. And I got to give my guy right here, Antonio, a big shout out. I don't know if he'll ever watch this, but I follow his responses on Twitter quite a bit. He always keeps a level head and he always has something very smart to say. And was it this one? I thought it was this one. Maybe it wasn't this one. Let me go back to the other game. Unless it's gone. This is my guy right here. Mr. J. Williams. Lost and Random not coming to Stadia, Luna, or GFN at this time. Why do we never see you post that? Dr. Spaceman says something. They go back and forth there. It's all good. Show more replies. We got good here. Man, where did I see that big trail? Maybe this is where it starts. Anyway, well, maybe I should be more prepared and not come home 5 minutes before the story goes, unless it was on that other one like I thought. And no, there's one game coming to Stadia. Now this game, this heist simulator game, that's the game that the guy in the post was apparently talking trash, right? So, man, I'm a little bummed. I really want to, but anyway, Jay went on down. They went back and forth, and Jay was basically saying, like, you don't ever say this about Amazon Luna or GFN or xCloud. And then Duncan comes back with, oh, it's because it's a different model. You can buy your games on Stadia. And Jay is like, that's not necessarily the case. Like, if you're going to compare these platforms, you should always compare them, right? You're talking about the subscription model versus being able to buy, blah, 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 blah. They went back and forth on this. It was funny. I was going to pull it up, can't find it. And that's the story of my life, right? Never prepared. So it's all good. But
I thought the story of your life was you can't find it.
What do there comes a time, and I can already hear in my head, as soon as I say this, people will be like, oh, well, that's what you guys are doing here. The shock jock value, right? You want the shock and the awe. And there's a couple of those guys that are over there that are a part of their little group, and all they like to do is stir the pot. And then as soon as they get called out on it, they want to hold their hands up and be like, oh, I didn't mean anything by it. I'm just speaking the truth. I just give you the information, and then blah, 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 blah.
Let me jump there real quick. Here's the difference, right? Here's the difference, okay? Yeah, we got a show called No Yes Men. Now, me personally, I wanted to do this because there's so many yes men. Now, here's the difference. You could call us shock jockeys, but because we say what we want to say. We're only called shock jockeys because I will say somebody's name, Sammy. So people don't do that. That's why we're considered shock jockeys. But guess what? We don't have a problem saying we're just shock jockeys because we're telling it like it is and not holding back. Now, here's the difference. They would say stuff and walk it back. I wish Duncan would just say, bro, I don't like Stadia. It pissed me off, and I got beef against them. And if I hear a crazy story, I'm going to bring it up. Then I would be like, you know what, man? Because that's what happened with Avery. I said to Avery, I said, dude, just come on the show and just say what you really feel. Because everybody thinks a certain thing about you. And I said on the Nerf Report video, you actually said you think Stadia is going to die in 2 years. You said it with your own mouth. I said, so come out and actually say it, right? So he came on the show and he said, listen, personally, Stadia is going to die. I said, I can respect that, right? But when you walk it back, no, I talk about Stadia because I love them so much and I want them to succeed. Shut the hell up. You talk about Stadia because for whatever reason you're pissed off with Google or whatever, but just say that. I would like it better. I'd be like, yo, that's the Stadia dude. He keeping it real. He don't like Stadia. Yep. But,
all those dudes were super bummed when Amazon was passing out their little cute avatar things that they were passing out to the content creators. Stadia doesn't care about us. They don't do anything for us. And then what Stadia do? They send them all swag bags, and now all they do is bash them all the time. So
yeah. And then
it's just turning over a new leaf every day. One day you're good. One day you're bad. Yeah. Stay consistent. I mean, I talked consistency last week, right? Stay consistent. Yep. If you're going to say something, stick to it,
I saw some tweets about, because EA Play was today and there's no new game. We knew there was going to be no new games. Like, that's not news. Like we knew that. Like, so don't go, oh, look, we're not getting this from EA Play. Well, we knew that. Like, that's not news.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's like everything is supposed to come to Stadia, and if it doesn't, then Stadia is trash and blah, 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 blah. But then you can say that in the next breath, if somebody talks trash about your preferred platform, let's say xCloud, oh, you guys should be able to play where you love games, and everybody should hold hands and sing Kumbaya, and we shouldn't be mean to each other. Fuck you. I don't give a shit. I don't even care. Like some of the biggest hypocrites in the world are the same ones that say all of this stuff, and it is what it is. So, all right, Jeff, you want to rock into Blizzard and Activision? What a segue, right?
Yeah.
I dropped F-bombs. I'm like, go ahead, Jeff, take it from here.
Well,
yes,
obviously,
that's exactly what I'm talking about, Clive, right there.
Yep.
That shit pissed me off. Thank you. Clive's a man. I love Clive.
I never got a swag bag. I never got
I didn't get swag bag.
I never got anything. I got a little Stadia sticker when I bought my Founder edition.
Hey, Google did say happy birthday to me though.
Well, there you go. We'll find out in September if that I had an article, but I didn't. I was running late.
That's okay. I mean, I
was out shopping.
I got my thing ready.
Obviously, there's a lawsuit. There's alleged harassment and mistreatment. And I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's not good. I'm not saying it's bad. Mm-hmm. But every tech company has these issues. Look at Uber, and the Uber founder, they booted him out for various things, right? So I think if you dig deep in almost every tech company, it's going to come out. Some are better at it than others. Some, it is still gaming, and like a lot in the tech is still a boys club. Right. And there's still walls that have to come down. There is still a long way to go. We have a long way to go as a society before there's equal treatment. Is it unfortunate? Yes. Is it, I wish we could wave a magic wand and change it, but I don't know. I don't have the magic answer on how it can be changed. Well, and I think it is changing. I think it's slowly changing, but.
Right? Go ahead, Anthony.
No, I was going to ask you what happened. I don't know the story. What happened? Explain.
Oh, there's some a lot of sexual harassment claims coming out of
women denied promotions or raises or equal pay. Male employees frequently neglecting work and delegating assignments to women in favor of playing video games. Blizzard and Activision.
Oh, Activision Blizzard.
Breastfeeding women being kicked out of lactation rooms so meetings could be held there instead. Documentation of cube crawl, where male employees drink copious amounts of alcohol or harass and grope women. Male employees publicly discussing sexual encounters, speaking open. I'm just reading this from the Forbes article, right? So that's just quote directly from.
Maybe this is what people are doing so they could get Call of Duty on Stadia. Or in the cloud.
I mean this is a very big deal. One of the ladies actually that made one of the claims. She actually posted on, I can't remember what company she's working with now, but she actually came out on Twitter and said, one of those people was me. This has been a very hard road. And the fact that the guy that, kind of harassed her's name was put out in the statement. She felt the need to come forward and say that it was her, and this is what happened. And, there's an event called BlizzCon. If you follow Activision or Blizzard, and there was quite a few, inappropriate things that had happened at that event, with her and with some of her coworkers, and it's just awful, man. And you started off by saying, Jeff, that there's a lot of this in the tech world. There's a lot of this just in the world, right? Yes. And as a husband and as a son and as a father to a girl, there's no place for it. There's absolutely no place for it. And you get this frat boy kind of attitude in some of these offices. I work in an office. I am one of the people that stream that actually work. And, it's amazing to see the different levels of thinking when it comes to certain people, what's right and what's wrong, and I'm actually somebody that I'll go ahead and say, I've put my foot in my mouth many times. I am. I'm not perfect. And I've actually had colleagues that have said, hey, maybe that's a little bit too far. Hey, maybe that's inappropriate. And it was younger, but it's always a learning process. Doesn't make it right. But it is a learning process. It's how we grow up and how we do things. But go ahead. You want to say something?
Like with everything, it starts at the top, right? So if the leadership, the CEO, the COO, the presidents, if they set the right culture, obviously Uber didn't, obviously whatever, can you go to Vet had a good point.
Yeah.
This one here.
I gotta stop saying that. Yes. So do you remember, I think we talked about it, not on our show, we didn't have a show then, but the whole Twitch and those hot tub streams, and Twitch did nothing about it. And they came out and said, it's fine. It's within our terms. Yeah, it's fine. And then Johnson & Johnson and other companies went, no, you know what? We're not advertising with you anymore because we don't want our shampoo Head and Shoulders showing up on a hot tub stream. So once it's affected
which
their
would
bottom,
actually make sense.
but once it affected their bottom line, then they went, oh, okay, wait a minute, we're gonna make a category now, and now like in Facebook and Google, right? You can pick and choose. I don't know if you've ever done Facebook ads and things, right? You can pick and choose and whatever. You never could do that before. Now they're giving advertisers options to opt in and opt out of things like that. Again, when it affected their bottom line, once companies started saying, we're not going to advertise with you anymore, forget it, we'll go somewhere else. That's when they changed. And that's right. The only way their behavior is going to change is if we stop buying the games. Are we going to stop buying the games? Well, they're not on Stadia, so I'm not going to buy any.
Here's what's hard.
That's a good point.
Here's what's hard, though. People are people, right? So you mentioned the top, but it could be a dude on the lower level. It could be the janitor. So what's crazy is people are people. And what's hard with the world is you can't censor everybody, right? So we're three of us sitting on the show saying, hey, this is not cool. But my son, right? I'm just going to throw it out there. My son could be doing this right now at his job, right? We can't control everybody. So it's crazy until everybody have to start being accountable for themselves. We're always going to have issues. But people, again, I think one of the things Isaac said, the people's train of thoughts, how they think, right? And so some people justify things, say, oh, this is cool. And then it's like, how the hell did you think that was cool? But so it's hard because it's not really like a company can't forever stop this type of stuff from happening, right? They can say, listen, if you do this, you're getting fired. You would think.
Well, no, they can stop it. If the leadership just walked in and just started firing people because of the bad behavior, other people would take note. Oh crap, Ryzak just got fired.
Well, I think in this case too, some of those leaders were the ones that were doing and promoting the behavior. Right. So all of those that were beneath them were like, oh, hey, this is how I'm going to get by. This is how I'm going to be seen or recognized. And so they went along with it too. Maybe that's just one piece of it, right? But
or maybe they knew it was wrong, but still went along with it just because everybody else was.
And they wouldn't want to get fired or
peer pressure.
Peer pressure.
They don't want to get fired, or they want that promotion. They want to be seen with the manager or director or whoever, right?
Yep. No, and I see this question here, Isaac. Will you buy products from Activision and Blizzard? I mean, I don't know. I used to play World of Warcraft. I don't play it anymore. I did maybe a month or so ago, download Warzone on my computer, which is run through Blizzard. I haven't touched it since 2 Sundays ago. I mean, maybe I won't play it again, but the same question could be asked for you as being a Redskins fan. A lot of stuff went on in the Redskins, but
can I answer that question?
Them still. So go ahead.
Me personally, I think I said this maybe live, but I'm just a different person. So I'm not like, if a guy rapes a girl, let's get extreme, right? And he works at the Kia dealership down the street, and we bought, 5 cars from them, right? I'm still buying the Kia, my next Kia, right? So I'm not pinning, like, so again, I don't know how much of the story, but even if it was the head of Activision and he had something crazy happen with a secretary, that got nothing to do with me, man. Like, if a game come out and I like it, I'm gonna buy it. It's like music. That's just me, because I don't know what me not buying a game is gonna change. Right. Yeah.
So I can understand both points. I can understand both sides of that coin. It really just depends on, you as a person and what is important to you. If that's something that strikes home to you, I could see you being that person that would take a stand.
So
I don't want to get too deep with things, but
yeah,
that goes on to a lot of what we were talking about, a week or two ago, right? With the tribalism and stuff. If you're an Activision and Blizzard fanboy, you're probably more inclined to turn the blind eye if nothing like that has ever impacted you in your life.
Right.
But if you're somebody that has had a mother, a daughter, a sister, a wife, a girlfriend, a friend, whoever that's gone through something like that, you may be more inclined to be like, you know what? No, this is where I put my foot down.
So here, let me just speak for me. Like, I personally, I always see people when people do protesting, right? Mm-hmm. Hey, let's get together and protest. And I'm always like, first of all, stuff crazy always end up happening. Like, so you go in there to do something peaceful, and then we got idiots, right? Me personally, I just don't feel in this situation, right? I'm not punishing myself from buying one game, right? I'm not joining the club to ban a game because of an incident that happened within the company. I feel like I don't get what am I supposed to be making happen. I don't know. Like, even if my mom, it happened to my mom, I still don't think why me not buying a game is supposed to do something for that person and my mom. It's just what I'm saying? It's a game. Now, maybe I'm trying to think something that makes more sense. Like if I do, let's say, it's a specific individual did something and I just pull out from that person, but there's many people who work at this big company. So what is everybody being punished for one person? You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone is too big, too big. Look at the Uber guy, whose name is escaping me at the moment, right? He eventually got pushed right out of the company he founded, right? For all of his bad behavior. Darius, the new guy, I don't know why I'm drawing a blank, but you know who I'm talking about.
I don't know.
Travis Kalanick. Right. Thank you for my.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you for the producers in my ear. Travis Kalanick. Right. So again, he Uber was really bad, right? They had a lot of bad behavior, and the board finally stepped in, and out he went. They brought Daria in to clean house. Has it gotten any better? Well, I haven't heard about anything. Is there still crap going on? Maybe. I just don't know. Right.
I don't know. And I'm not a social worker, and I definitely don't have the answers. I mean, I feel for, those women that, feel something and had to go through something. I'm very sorry for them. I know it wouldn't be accepted in my workplace.
Right.
And,
your workplace has a different culture. Obviously, again, I was stereotyping all of tech companies.
Yeah.
Right. You're in the property management. I'm in consulting and nonprofits and other things. Right. So, it is a different. I know
culture. It's not the same subject, but you look at a lot of like the TikTok stuff that goes on now, and like a lot of the YouTube shorts and things of that nature, right? A lot of it is, there's a lot of inappropriateness in a lot of those videos that a lot of people find funny, right? And then that stuff can kind of build inside of people as well. And again, guys, I'm not a psychiatrist, and somebody probably knows there's names for this stuff or words for this stuff or whatever. It's just my observations, right? I see my kids change, through being around certain things or hearing certain things. And I see other kids, I used to work in a high school. I used to coach high school basketball. Those kids were all influenced by, celebrities or parents or uncles or friends or whomever. Like, it's all around us, right? And it takes something like this for people to stop and say, hey, wait, what's wrong here? But we can continue to let certain things go on.
We have a long way to go as a society.
Yeah, where's the line in the sand?
Here's the thing. Can't speak for Jeff, but man, the United States is so crazy. We're in the United States, and popularity is such a big thing, right? Everybody want to be rich. Everybody want to be popular. It's been told to be the bad guy, the mean guy. it's just crazy. So I could say this for a fact. I have 3 children who are in their 20s, and then I have a 15-year-old daughter, right? So it's a big difference. And how my 3 kids act versus my 15-year-old, the world is changing, and it's not for the better, you know?
It's not,
so it's just, you know.
No, I've been saying for a long time, I haven't known you guys as long as I've been saying it, but the internet, as great as it is, as powerful of a tool as it is, it's really just changed us as people, right? We're too connected.
Right.
We're too connected. There's too many things at our fingertips. I mean, I got firsthand experience, while my kids were doing school from home. I mean, my son would have, let's say, a math worksheet, right? He could literally go into Google and he could type the first question or the title of the worksheet, and it would pull up the whole damn worksheet for him. He could just fill it out and turn it in, and nobody would have ever have known. How do you not have straight A's? So when he got his report card and he had A's and B's, I said, why don't you have straight A's? He said, because some of that stuff was hard. I said, you just go on the internet and find it. And he was honest with you. Sometimes I did, and sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I was too lazy.
Yeah, my daughter was.
I probably would have done it. I'm not gonna lie. I probably would have done it
till the test shows up, and then you're like,
Well, no, listen. I can tell a story for me. So my daughter was math is a hard subject. She was cheating, right? And I was like, yo, what the hell? You getting your friends do your work? Because she got so behind, right? And granted, my daughter's mom passed away literally a year ago, right? So, but I'm not giving her that excuse, and I didn't want to let her. I didn't want to side with her as I know I look like the bad guy, bro. Your daughter is 15 and her mom passed away, but no. So anyway, she ended up going to school, and same thing Jeff said. They had a test, and her teacher wrote me and said, "Listen, I just want to see how she's doing because I was asking her a question and she just froze." And she just sat there and said nothing. And I was thinking, like, what? And I was like, oh, it's her math class because she probably cheated so damn much and her grade looked good, right? It's only but so much I could catch. I got to go to work, right? And so when she actually ended up going to school and they questioned her in person, she looked stupid as hell. And I'm like, yo, these kids are cheating and it's a lot. This world is crazy, man. But listen, at the end of the day, what we have to do is be parents and be, again, like I said, we have to be responsible for ourselves, right? We can't blame the world, right? We can't be like, I can't be like, well, same thing, harsh as it is. Your mom died, so just do whatever. Or, oh, everybody else is cheating. Like my daughter has a knack for, well, they're doing it. I don't give a damn. So we can't just be like, well, the world's getting worse. Oh, well, because we still have these values we got to keep, and spread them. But
but the Ray every time my horse dies.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have been.
Every time my horse dies, I blame Ray.
Yeah, I know. I say that too.
That's why I don't play Red Dead, because every time I jump in, he kills me.
Yep. No, I don't know if you guys have been keeping up with the comments I've been putting up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's saying a lot of really good things here, and this right here, go along with everyone else. And this is the problem: most creators, not all, just follow the same path as everyone else. Nobody cares that you have a voice. That's why we're here. That's why we decided to do this. One of the reasons why, right here. And I know not everybody's going to agree with the things that we say or the way that we do it, right? But it is one of the reasons why the three of us talked and decided to do something like this. Now, yes, we had the shock factor in the first couple of episodes, and I get that. But before this show today, Anthony actually said to us, he was like, "All right, let's get serious now. Like we had some fun." We said some things that we wanted to say. Now let's start to really see where we can take this and let's bring some content to everybody. And I think that you'll start to see that over the next couple of weeks, especially as things happen. Hopefully I'll be a little bit better prepared next time. But again, that's just the story of my life, man. I'm busy, man. I am busy. I can't help it. I'll be up at 6:00 on Saturday morning doing the commentary for this summer community championships. I was up at 6 a.m. last Saturday doing my speed run for Hitman, which I don't think Jeff got up to watch, but Anthony did. Thanks a lot, Jeff. I'm sitting in 7th place right now, baby. That's right.
Nice.
I know.
Where are you going to be after this week's?
Probably 107, but it's all good. I'm not good at the So I was looking into that game. Sorry to change subjects real quick, but just because I went that way. The Pixel Junk Raiders is the game this week. And I think I might have played it for about 2 hours and then I cut it off because it is hard, man. It is an extremely hard game. And so I pulled up the state share that they have for this week, and all of a sudden you like land and there's all these state shares in front of you, or the, whatever the hologram things are that you can collect things. And like all these rockets are coming at you from every way. And I'm like, what the hell? I've never even been on a level like this. I don't even know what to do. And I died instantly because my character is such a low level.
What I'm doing with the summer games is I'm just going to play. I'm not going to practice on no games. I'm just going to do my run. What'd you get, an hour and a half every time? Is that how it goes?
What is it now?
What is it? Do you get an hour and a half every time you play?
You get an hour and a half to go ahead and try to get your best chance at the score,
Gotcha.
Right? So there's going to be certain criteria for this week, and then, it'll go. So
what I'm doing each time is I'm just not practicing, not watching. I'm just jumping in free. And I'm just having fun with it. Because this isn't naturally the way I prefer a tournament. So I'm just going to kind of just, at least I'm participating. Anyways, you want me to do my thing now?
Hold on, I want to answer this right here. It says, Beth says, how many times do you jump on someone on Twitter because they say something you don't like about Stadia? Do you attack, or do you? I don't know if this is about me or not, but I can tell you that I don't attack people on Twitter. If you have some proof of me doing that, please let me know, because Anthony actually jumped in on one of my chains with somebody the other day. And the very first thing I did was the guy was like, oh, Stadia sucks. And I was like, why do you think that? That was my question to him.
Yeah, that was good.
And then I continued to have a conversation with somebody instead of attacking them. So if this is about me, and I've actually attacked somebody on Twitter, please feel free to pull it up, because
and let me answer that. I personally, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, I put on Twitter, so you can find it on my thing. I said, listen, me personally, it's my preferred platform, right? It's just like you got a football team, right? And there's a lot of people that just bash Stadia just to bash, right? We all know it. So for me personally, because it's my preferred platform, and again, I put this on Twitter, I said, starting today, you call me a Stadia defender, whatever, but if I see nonsense, hear me out, nonsense, I'm going to have something to say, right? Now, if it's not nonsense, like I see, like, like Andy Moore, he'll say something, and I'll be like, you know what? It's borderline of nonsense, or maybe it'll be like a couple hours later. I don't like jumping on something that's hours later because I feel stupid. Like it's already come and gone. Like if I catch it fresh and it tingles something, I'm gonna jump on it. So for me, answering your question is, if it's nonsense, I'm gonna say something. If you call that attacking, then that's on you. But that's me.
He's one of the guys that I stopped following a long time ago, because he brings that shock jock factor, right? He likes to be silly and stir the pot. And it's just, it's annoying to me. So the best thing for me to do was to just not follow it, because then it doesn't affect me, right? So, that's what I try to do.
I have not just on Twitter, but on YouTube or Twitch streams. I may pop into somebody's stream and I go, oh, I play this on Stadia. The good ones will go, oh, I've heard different things about Stadia.
Mm-hmm.
Is it good? How's your experience? Some people will go, oh, I hear it's horrible. Or they'll go, oh, or they'll say, it's not that great. And I'll go, oh, what was your experience? And why do you say that? Oh, well, I have never actually tried it. I'm just hearing that from other people. Oh, I see. So you have a negative opinion about something that you've never tried. And the good ones will say, yes, you're right. I've not tried it. You're right. If you're saying it's pretty good, okay, that's, all right, I'll remember that. So the good ones will engage and or try to find out more, or at least admit they don't know much about it or something. And there's some guy, and I keep trolling him because he says Stadia will be dead in 6 months. So I keep sending him, still not dead. Still not dead. All this good stuff is coming. Oh, look, they're going to be doing stuff until 2023. So if you want to revise your, it's going to be dead after 2023. I'll let you do that, right? So.
No, and I think I do feel I've heard this bounce around quite a bit, right? I do feel a certain level of responsibility, I'll call it, for trying to show people my positive experience with the platform, because there is so much negativity out there, and there are so many people that try to trash it on a daily basis, and it works for me. And I definitely would love to see more people come and play it, so we could get some more of those multiplayer games, and we could have, developers like, what is it? No People Fly, No People Suck, whatever it is, that made Outriders. They haven't done the patch for the game for so long, and they're not really putting a lot of attention into it because they don't see the player base, right? So of course I would love to see more people come so that narrative changes. So I do feel a certain level of responsibility for correcting people when they're wrong, or trying to encourage people to try the service. Hey, it might not work for you. You know, it does work for me. This is what I use. This is how I use it. You know, come check out my stream. Come check out my friends' streams. I mean, we're all trying to show it in a positive way. I do feel like there's a certain level of, you got to call them out for the stupid shit that they do, right? Like, it is what it is, just like anything else. I'll call myself out for stupid shit that I do. So why wouldn't I call them out? But I'm not going to go searching for it to prove a point. Right. And that's where I get a little annoyed with some of these guys, because they're just constantly digging for the negative. And then they want to flip it when something positive comes out. It's like a seesaw, man. It's like you're so back and forth. And I get it. They have the right to do that. And, you know, as I say things, like, things pop into my head and I can hear what people are going to say to things that I say. And so I get it. I said this before on a show, I try to encourage my kids to look from both sides of the glass, right? I want to see what you see, but I would also like you to see what I see. And I think if some more people did that, it would be great. I've had a really good experience on xCloud lately. You guys both know I'm a lifelong Xboxer.
Right.
I tried xCloud when the beta first came out, and it was terrible. And I even gave feedback to Xbox through the app that it was terrible. And I specifically said Stadia is better right now in my feedback to them, so that they will see what their problem is, right? I live close enough to a data center on the East Coast that my experience with it is better than some. My argument has and will always be, I want, for me, and I said this on Vet and Ray and Spaceman and JD show last night, Cloud Station, you know, I want quality over quantity. I don't care about there being 150 games if there's only 6 of them that I want to play, right? And yes, there could be some diamonds in the rough. There might be some gems sitting there that I want to touch, but there's nothing drawing me into that, right? And I have limited time.
Right, and this is why I hear Duncan say all the time, Stadia needs to go to a subscription model. Stadia needs to start pushing pro more. I feel like you're trying to downgrade the service, because what you just said, right, Zach, is if I'm able to pick and choose and just personally buy my game, and it's a one game, I might play this game way longer, one game, than if you gave me 30 games and I don't like any of them, or maybe 2 of them, but I'm only playing them because they was there, right? Now, granted, you might find a game you're like, oh, I would have never played this game, I like it. But chances are it's going to be the game where I like it. I mean, it's cool, but it's not the game.
I'll tell you where it's been cool for me lately. And I know that there's other people that use it for this reason. Because there are so many games, and because they are getting games day and date, I was able to fire up, and I've been using my oh god, what is that thing that you told me to change the buttons on? No, I don't have the keychain. The other one. The Game Sir, and I changed the buttons to it, and it's been great. My hands are big, so I can only play it for a little bit of time, but it is nice to be able to lay in bed and just have that versus the controller with the big arm on it with my phone, right? So I actually fired up Chris Tales the other night. I'm a big RPG guy. I love RPGs. Chris Tales was released day and date for Game Pass, right? So instead of me spending $40, $50, $60, it was on Stadia too. That's what I was getting ready to say. Instead of me paying for it on Stadia to try it, I tried it through my service with xCloud, and I'm glad that I did, because as an RPG fan, I've heard a lot of hype for it. I played it for an hour and I turned it off. It's not my game.
Cool.
But I was able to try it through Game Pass, so I knew not to buy it through Stadia. Right. So that's one way that it's worked for me. I was able to do the same thing with Outriders. Outriders is just not my game. I'm not a Destiny fan. It's like Destiny and Gears of War crossed. I love Gears of War, but I don't like Destiny. And so to me, I played like the first, I don't know, 2. I played through the tutorial on the beta, and then I gave it a little bit more time, and it's just not for me. But I was able to try it before I buy it. So the model, having both of them, works for me in that regard, that if Xbox is going to keep putting games on their service, you know, I can try them there, And if I really like them, I can buy them on Stadia. So I can have the best of both worlds.
Well, let me say this though. But so here's the cool thing, right? And listen, people look at me and say, oh, you just love Stadia. But I said so many times, listen, the platform who wants my money just need to do what Stadia does and better, right? So here's the thing. So xCloud might just get to the point where how you're able to play so many games, right? And it's $14.99. They might be as good as Stadia. And then you might be like, you know what? I'm getting so much in Game Pass. Why not just keep Game Pass? I guess the only issue is, well, it's two issues. One, not every game comes to it. So there's going to be a game that you would love to be in that bundle, but isn't coming. And two, there's going to be games that you like in that bundle and then will be taken out too. But either way, that'll be a good point when they are.
Yeah, no, and there's some games that have come out for Stadia Pro, right, as our pro games for the month that I haven't seen over there. That and I always try my pro games. I always do. And I know there was a comparison that was floating around about the value that you get across the platforms, and Stadia is more expensive. Blah blah blah. Look, I'm not one of those people that is so concerned about some of these things that other people are concerned with. I've got my $9.99 a month, and I've got my $15.99 a month. I'm paying $25 a month, 26 and some change dollars a month to have entertainment. You know, I have a Netflix account. I've got a Hulu account that's free because I'm a lifelong Sprint customer, and they had bundled it in my package, and now I'm T-Mobile because they switched over, blah blah blah. But you know, we have all of these things, and it's entertainment. So when I look at it this way, $25 a month for games, Netflix. I got you, Jeff. Hold on just a second. I got $13 a month there. So let's say through subscriptions, I'm paying like $40 to $50 a month. Right. That's one night of taking my kids out to McDonald's. Because when I go to McDonald's, my meal's like $18. So, you know.
Hold up, Ryzak. I'm going to tell you this one last time.
Yep.
Stop talking to my wife. She literally just texted me and said, "Can you buy us all McDonald's for dinner?"
There you go.
And you're sitting here talking about McDonald's.
Hey, Sandy and I.
Listen, I know you and him might be texting right now.
I just Uber I just Uber Eats some dinner for us.
Sitting here talking.
I didn't have time to do anything. So
see how connected we are, guys?
I've been texting where he is, telling them to go get the food.
That's great. No, I want to say before I let you go, I'm going to let you take it over here in a second. I just want to say thanks to Vet. Vet brought up some really good points in the chat.
He did.
And the support there in this last one and the one before that, appreciate it. I think that we the three of us know that we can do a lot of stuff with this show, and I think that we will. I think that we had an agenda in the beginning because there were some things that we wanted to do, and we wanted to start off with a little controversy, which isn't for everybody, but it's all good. And hopefully this show turns the table, and you guys start to see a little bit more of that serious discussion piece that you're mentioning here. But thank you, I appreciate you saying that.
But I will just chime in though. So the people who heard everything Ryzak said, just know, me personally, and I can't speak for Jeff or Ryzak, but I'm glad they're on here because they have a great voice, meaning that they're actually expressing themselves without hesitation. Me personally, I'm gonna if I see a story on a week-to-week basis, and again, I told you guys before the show started, and I'm talking to the audience, that if there's a story I hear, I'm gonna mention it, and I'm gonna mention it in its entirety. Meaning, if so-and-so had blah, 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 I'm saying names. Now, this is what people often skip. They be like, oh, so a lot of times people don't mention anything because they feel like, oh, I don't want to say somebody's name. Me personally, I just feel like, listen, I just want to, again, Kanye West and Kim Kardashian cannot get the paparazzi to stop saying their name. Why? Because it's public information. If you put it out there, somebody see it. It's kind of when Avery was mad. Don't say my name. I said, and Sammy, don't say my name. Well, first of all, if you wrote something or it was on a video and I seen it, I could say it where I want. It's subpoena me and have someone say, oh, you can't say his name, but I don't think that's possible. So I just want to go out there and publicly say the shock value might just be you just don't know what we're going to say because we're going to be authentic and just say it. Now, I'm going to bring up a story, and Jeff and Ryzak might be like, I don't want to touch that. Matter of fact, I had a question I asked on last week's episode, and they both was like, I don't want to answer that. And I said, I'll answer it. So that may happen, but we're not going to shut up is what I'm saying for people. If we decide not to say something, it's because we are. But the yes men for me is when you say, I'm not saying nothing because other people won't say nothing. That's a yes man. Now, if you personally, like Razak said from the beginning, you know me, man, I'm not a name dropper, but if something is a hot button for me, I'll say something, right? So his own personal feelings and opinion is if I feel so, I'll say it. Not that, oh, everybody won't say that because maybe that person's name big or whatever, you know? So I just want to make that clear, at least for myself. And whenever Razak give me the green light.
Oh, I thought you already had the green light.
No, I was just kind of rebuttaling to what you said.
No, man, I was Ray had put a comment on my highlight video from your guys' episode, and it showed up in my notifications, but when I clicked on it, now it's not in the chat, so I don't know if he deleted it or not, but he said that I was only showing him in my highlight video, and I was going to respond to him and say that's because he was the highlight of the show. It wasn't you. You might have won, but he was the highlight of the show. He was funny. You weren't.
He was a loser, and I came to win. That's the difference.
You know.
So anyway, could you share my screen, sir?
You can.
I just wanted to say a couple of things. One, there's so many games on Stadia that I just haven't had a chance to play yet. I may never get to them. Two, some of you popped into my stream on Sunday when I was streaming I was actually in a gaming store. A card, they sell card games and board games and whatnot. And I was there on Saturday, and I told the guy what I was doing. He goes, "Yeah, you want to do it from my store?" We got really good, So a lot of people were coming into the store, and they're like, "What's that guy doing back there? He's got his light set up. He's got all this other stuff." And they kept saying, "Oh, he's streaming on YouTube. He's playing Stadia." Well, what's that? So the guys in the store were asking me about it. You didn't see because you couldn't see what I could see. But when I finished streaming, there was a bunch of people there like, "You're playing on Stadia? What's that like? You were doing it from the store? So you're just sitting here they were looking at my controller and not touching it. Again, socially distanced. You may have saw I had a mask on for part of it because, again, I was in a store. Right. But yeah, there was a lot of people who had no idea or heard about it, but didn't know anything about it and were asking me tons of questions. Yeah. I emailed a couple of people, the links to try it out for free. Some, the link. So I may get something. They may subscribe. They may not. But, they're like, "What do you mean?" And they were all like, "What do you mean it's free? And I can just use my PlayStation controller?" And I said, "Sure. If there's a game that you like, let's say you're a big SpongeBob fan. It's free. You can go buy SpongeBob for however much SpongeBob is, or Pac-Man or whatever, and you can just play that one game and use your controller."
I love that the game that you try to sell people on is SpongeBob.
I know, right?
Guys, this is such a great platform. You like SpongeBob? You should come play with me. I retro rewind SpongeBob. I play SpongeBob with my kids. I got SpongeBob over here. SpongeBob underwear.
I do, actually.
I know.
Way of selling the platform, Jeff.
I do.
Thank you for your service.
You're like, "I play SpongeBob in my pineapple under the sea."
It's true. It's all true. All right, share
Anthony,
it. What do you got next?
You got to share it, and then
I was waiting for Jeff to.
What do you got next?
Does Jeff need to teach you how to use StreamYard as a guest?
No. I'm tired of Jeff always trying to teach me how to do everything.
Well, he's a
I
teacher.
wish you would tag me correctly in Facebook posts.
I don't tag you at all on Facebook.
I know you don't. Why don't you just tag me correctly?
I don't know. All right, so you ready? So the reason why I'm bringing this up,
I don't want to.
He keeps tagging this other guy at Ryzak. It's not even me. So this guy,
that was
with like 3
crazy.
Followers, keeps getting tagged in all of his stuff.
Hey, how about tagging my daughter? I'm thinking it's my daughter for months, and she was like, "I don't have a Twitter." I was like, "What do you mean I have a Twitter? I've been tagging you every week." She's like, "You're not tagging me, Daddy." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "Yes, I am." She's like, "I don't have a Twitter." I'm like, "Yes, you do." She's like, "I do." I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "No, I don't." And I'm looking. I'm like, "This is you." She's like, "That's not me." I'm like, "Oh, whoops, my bad." To the other Lena Love 18. Anyways, so the reason why I'm bringing this up, guys, is
getting edgy on me now. All right, come on.
I am getting edgy because this kind of bothered me. So I'm a fan of a lot of you guys, right? Jeff, I don't know how many hours watching you yesterday, man, but It definitely was more than 2. I watched Jeff in the car, on the way to the store, back home, on the way back to the store because I bought the wrong thing, back home, or listened to Jeff as I was driving. And I watch these guys' podcasts almost every week. And when I miss it, well, I don't watch it on time, but I'm at work, listening, driving. That's just what I do. But I want to call out nonsense. So part of me being on the show, right, is I'm calling out nonsense if I see it. I'm just being honest. So I was watching the show, and I was like, what? So first of all, anyway, I won't get to that. But yeah, so let me just press play. And I believe it was at 127. And so let me just press play because I was like, what? So what we got? Amnesia now? Anyway.
Very positive for Stadia, but
can you guys hear that?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right, let's go.
I'm not saying completely and utterly knocked away from the park. It is starting to right the ship in my view, and I just want to see where it goes.
Okay. So we're not gonna do that. Let's check in with you, Chief. What's your take? So I think people want to know. I've heard all this week. It's crazy. I was in Anthony's show, and they painting you as this guy that think or say the state is gonna die. Like, where just clear the air with that, man, because people are under the impression that you still believe like this platform is dead. With all this news, where
have I ever said Stadia is dead? I don't know where anybody could pull that from.
Hold up.
Who is that?
Ever? That was Marchief. I will agree though. He was killing it. So this episode, man, they was talking about Luna. He was like, listen, Luna, like he went in and he had some really good points to disagree with what they were saying. I was like, man, I gotta give him credit. But him saying no one ever said that, I don't know if he's being funny or not. But anyway,
Ace was trying to talk to Duncan there.
Right.
I think so. That's that's how I read it.
All right, here we go.
To be honest,
agreed.
Considering I've been an advocate of Stadia, I'm saying, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Duncan put words in my mouth to that effect. But no, I think Stadia is struggling. It's not dead by a long shot. It's still the best.
So let me come out of that because my main thing is so Ace is oblivious to people are saying Stadia is dead. And I even wrote in the chat, I said, what are you talking about? Brian even did a whole a video where he had Duncan saying that. But I will say this, if you didn't hear it real quick, Duncan said, I did. He actually admits he did. So, which is cool. But I find it crazy that people are on this panel and they're like, what? People said Stadia was going to die? Stadia is dead? That never happened. And I was like, are you kidding me? So I even wrote in the, go ahead.
When you wrote me this week and you said you wanted to talk about this and you kind of gave me a little bit of background on what you heard, I think the way that I took it from you was that he was trying to say that Duncan never said that. But Duncan just admitted to it, right? So I guess I was wrong in how I read what you said to me.
I think because Duncan's, I don't know if they even heard him. He said it real quick. So if you're live talking like we are and if Jeff say something I did and you're not paying attention, I don't think they realized that Duncan said I did. So if I rewind it back, he said, because I actually paused it and started talking. Oh, let me do that real quick. For the
and again, you and I, we did the show last week and you had brought up the video of him saying that, right? And I even came out after you showed the video and I said, but, he did come back around and say that, he thinks it's good. However, he is still pumping the brakes a little bit. Yes, this is a high right now, but he's still not completely sold, right? So I know I bashed him a little bit at the beginning. I don't want to go all in on him because I know, like I said, he does this thing. Whoops, I'm
not even on him. I'm on the people who literally sat there and was like, what? That's what I'm on. I'm on Ace. I'm on Marchief. I'm on the people. I'm like, yo, are y'all really serious? But hold on, let me play this one more time real quick.
People are under the impression that you still believe like this platform is dead. Even with all this news, where
have I ever said Stadia is dead?
Wrong person's talking there.
I don't know where anybody could pull that from, to be honest.
Agreed.
Considering I've been an advocate of Stadia, I'm saying.
So Marchief said no one ever said Stadia is dead. No one ever said that. And Ace said agreed. And Duncan says I did, but I don't think they heard him. So I'm like, wait, how are you guys acknowledging that? People was going crazy on Stadia's dead. Stadia's dead has been a narrative for like so long, and they literally are saying that no one said that. So I was just like, wait, what? So if you continue watching it, they're having a conversation, and then Ace changed the subject. But I'm like, wait. So the bad thing was I had to watch. I watched this later, so I missed this live when they said that. I was like, and I like, you know me, Bryce, like even on your show, when I miss something, I still comment when it's not live, right? They feel like I was still a part of it. And I'm like, oh, you guys are lucky I wasn't watching this live. And even Ace was like, yeah, but what are you talking about? I was like, anyway, so I had to bring this up because I just can't believe, there are people, again, the dying narrative is just so out there, right? It's like even recently, what's his name? Rich from Review Tech USA. I didn't watch the video, but he had a video that says, Netflix is coming out with gaming, so Stadia is really dead. I'm like, yo, it doesn't end. So anyway, like I said, I'm passionate about the platform. Listen, when they do something I don't like, I'll name it as well. But I just, on a week-to-week basis, I'm not looking for it, as Ryzek was saying. But if I'm watching something and I see stuff like this, just know a no yes man, I'm bringing it up. One other thing. Go ahead.
The hard thing for me is that, I don't want to seem disrespectful to any of those guys, but with me being me being who I am and in the bubble that I'm in, I've never watched this. I don't know any of these guys other than Duncan and Chase. And I was on Retro Rewind with Hell Monkey with you guys a couple weeks ago, and I see Gamer TV, on Twitter quite a bit. But I know these guys are really big and they've got a really big following. And, I think it's great. I just don't know who they are. And maybe that's a shock to some people. And, oh my God, they were here in the beginning. Yeah, I was here in the beginning too, but I didn't spend my time watching people play. I played. So for me to get into this so late, I don't know these guys.
I don't even think it matters who they are. It's that you're hearing individuals say no one said Stadia died, right?
Well, I think Duncan, or I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was reading it and saw Duncan's name. But Clav, I think right here in this comment, I think you're exactly right there, Clav. I think Ace was pointing that at Duncan, thinking that he was going to pick up on that, but he had already been talking to Marchief maybe before that, so maybe he thought that he was saying 100%. That. So,
100%.
Yeah, I think there might have been a confusion there because you see Duncan with his little smile down there, and he's like, "Yeah, I said it. don't." I'm just
And he flapped his arms. I said it.
Yeah. He said,
So he didn't hide from it. He just said it like under his breath.
Well, again, my thing wasn't Duncan. My thing wasn't Duncan. It was on the guys who are saying no one said.
Yeah, you're not attacking Duncan here. You're
not at all.
You're saying that you are having a hard time seeing where everybody's oblivious to that having been said once.
I'm like, wait, what?
Right? I mean, I know everything that you say, because it's like the first thing that pops up on my feed because I do so much with you. So it's like, and now your mama knows went to the bathroom. Sandy Beaches loves Ryzak. Like there's all kinds of.
Anyways, but
who doesn't love Ryzak?
It's a joke. There's a lot of people that don't love me, Jeff.
Soon to be award-winning game show.
Yeah,
so I was going to bring up one other thing, but it was on Friday's episode of Cloudy. They was just going over everything, and they got to they brought up Stadia last, and they was like, okay, let's start with the good news. And I was just crazy, like I'm listening to this, and I was driving, and they said, let's bring up the good news. And right out the gate, Maker was on there. He was like, Stadia, and I was like, damn, they didn't say any good news. They literally explain everything they didn't like about the keynote, but this was supposed to be the Stadia good. Let's get with the good news first. I was like, damn, they took their whole segment to say what Stadia did that they didn't like. And the keynote thing is crazy because that Stadia giving more money and extra incentives, and people are really trying to, and Clive mentioned this on his Monday Night Chat, people are really trying to pick apart what they could really find. Well, I mean, it sounds good, but then are they not going to give them other money? Like, are they? I'm like, oh my God, something good happened, and you're trying hard to say why this is a bad thing. It's just crazy anyway. But yeah,
I'm starting to lose my faith in some of the things that group is saying, you know, and I've tried to be a supporter, and you know, I said on one of the other shows, there's a lot of things that happened when I first started, you know, getting into the Stadia YouTube content creation community. There was a lot of things that were said, the Cloudy Game Awards, like all of that stuff. Like I thought it was all great. And since then, it's gone from being this very positive and trying to push the positivity to a very negative.
Let me tell you what it is. Real quick, Jeff, SG&E closed. It bothers some people. Then the narrative was, like Ace even told me, he said, SBCN, why are you guys cover only Stadia? Just stop covering Stadia, cover more stuff. I said, why is it a problem that we only want to cover Stadia? There are literally people out, like I said, you wouldn't tell an Xbox guy to sit through a PlayStation video to get his Xbox news. No one would ever do that. Vice versa. You'd be like, what? They're going to watch a legit, strict PlayStation thing or a legit, strict Xbox thing. But when it comes to the cloud, it's like, oh, we do a show that's with everything. Now, granted, some people watch it. I watch stuff with everything. But I would love sometimes to get my die-hard Stadia's content, right? And so what's wrong with that?
When it was new and people were trying to jump in at first and become a part of it, it was cool.
Yep.
But then it got oversaturated and so many people started to try to do it, right? And all these other platforms came out. And so I know that's exactly what they did with Luna and even the Apple games, right? As soon as the news came out of that stuff, it was boom, I'm gone. I got this now. I got an Amazon Luna show. Now I got an Apple game show. I'm going to be the first in here. And then when that gets, I'm moved. I enjoy Stadia. So, I mean, what's wrong with me sticking around? How many people have streamed PC or PlayStation or Xbox for a decade and still do it? Nobody's, bitching at them because they've stuck to one thing, but it's just because it's this, and it's a certain group of people. It's a certain type of people. And, it's exhausting, really. I mean, you want to say that everybody should be friends and everybody should like all this stuff and this and that, and don't be negative. But then you pull us into our bubble, SBCN or just Stadia or whatever. And because we do that, you have a problem with it, but we're not supposed to have a problem with anything else. The shoe doesn't fit both feet. I don't know. I could say it until I'm blue in the face, but it's not going to matter. Jeff, we've cut you off like 40 times.
That's all right. I'm eating. My problem with the developer thing was it was for developers. If you're not a developer, the hell were you doing watching it? I saw different people. Oh, we're going to live stream. No, you are not. You are a gamer. Why are you live streaming the developer conference? You don't know anything about developing. You've never hacked a piece of code in your life. Google should have said this is, and I'm glad they right out the box. They said there's going to be no gameplay. There's going to be no game footage. There's going to be. If you came looking for that, they should have said, if you're not a developer, fuck off.
I think
if you're a content creator, fuck off. Yeah. That's not. We're here to talk to developers. We want to talk to the developers, and that's it. Don't all these other people. I bet you of the 400 or 500 people watching it, 10 of them were developers because they're not good. They're going to watch the VODs. They're all busy fucking developing. They're going to watch the VODs. They're going to talk to their account reps. The account reps are going to say, hey, here's a clip. You should watch this. Oh, here's what we talked about, right? Google didn't have to do it. They could, there were account reps, and I've tweeted some other people like, hey, you should put a game on Stadia. Okay, did they sign up did they go to stadia.dev? Well, I don't know. Well, that's how the proper doing it. Sending them a fucking tweet. Stop sending them fucking tweets. Stop emailing, tweeting EA Dice going, bring it to Stadia. That's not how you do it.
Yep.
I told you, and even MMK2K brought it up on his show. You go to the report, you log the ticket properly, you do it. Sending them a tweet that the social media intern, there's you guys, obviously you don't know what the fuck's going on because you're just little gamers. You're 18-year-old, you're little gamers playing your little game. Oh, I want to understand. Stop it. You shouldn't even have been watching it. None of those clowns on that show who were talking about, none of should have been watching it. None of you are none of you are developers. Oh, and if you have, Ace, if you've developed code, I apologize. I don't know that. And if you have, I stand corrected. but unless you're a developer, don't watch it.
You and I talked about it beforehand because I was talking to you about that simple fact, and I think I actually tweeted out. My friend Jeff said, don't get excited about this. I didn't watch it because I thought that they were going to announce games, but I was absolutely intrigued as to what the conversation would be for developers. Like how does the conversation change? How does the mood change when you go from the consumer side of things, which is, like Stadia, like, all this, pizzazz. But then when you get to the developer side, how do you convey that excitement to them? How do you show that you're really passionate about your platform and you want to bring them into it? And all of those workshops that they did, that's what I wanted to see as somebody that doesn't code and doesn't get to see that side of things very often, because I don't go digging for it either. There's a lot of people that sit home all day and, with their hand in their pants, and they, scour the internet trying to find out, what the next great breaking news is so that they can bring it to you first. I'm the one that brought you this. No, you're not. Somebody else did. You just took it from online and you just, pushed it out there more. But I don't live in that world. So for me, that was exciting for me to see. I actually did, Jeff, go against your grain of thought one time. And I tweeted a developer personally, him. He had put a tweet up about his game. He was getting ready to come out with a new update for it. It's a game that I absolutely love. It was on the Switch, and it's called Duck Game. And if you don't know what Duck Game is, and you've never played Duck Game, Anthony, you would absolutely love it, because Killer Queen Black, Duck Game. Okay.
Oh, wow.
It's got platforms. There's guns all over the place. You pick up different guns and you just try to eliminate each other from these different platforms, right? So it's got some of those same vibes. So I jumped on. I follow him on Twitter, and I mentioned in one of his posts, and I said, hey, absolutely love your game. Loved playing it on the Switch. I'm not sure if you know too much about Google Stadia or if you would have any plans in bringing it over there. And it took him about 3 weeks. And I was like, oh, I'm just some other guy that did that. And he actually responded to me and he said, you know what? Stadia looks awesome, but at this time, I have too much planned for updates on the platforms I'm currently working on. I don't have enough time to port over to something new. So when I look at what the developers conference was about, for me, knowing that I had that transaction, what are you doing to help those types of developers come over? Those developers that do have an awesome game, and I don't understand a lot about it, and I was hoping that I would learn something from it. So for me, that's how I took that. I was definitely not looking for game announcements,
Yeah. And me personally, I watched it because people was live streaming. So while I'm sitting at work, I didn't watch it. I don't watch a lot. I listen. So as I'm at work doing my thing, I could just listen. So that was cool for me because I was supporting content creators that I know who were streaming it. But I will say this, though. Jeff did say, so he wasn't going against what Jeff said. Jeff said, don't tweet the big companies. He actually did specify that before. You seen an actual developer that you could get your hands on. What Jeff is saying is, like he said, DICE, EA. Like, you ain't getting, you know what I'm saying? So you really wasn't doing the opposite of what Jeff was saying.
Hey, shout outs to Nimbus Cloud, Alex, for dropping by. Thank you. Lord Gamey, man, I see you in the chat. Thanks for coming by. He said that you should make a game for Stadia, Cowboy. What game? If you could make a game, if you knew how to make a game, let's first start there, right? Because we know that the only game that you know how to make is the one in the backyard or in the bedroom. But
I got 4 kids.
I'm saying, what kind of game would you make? And it better not be any kind of Avengers game.
So, if I could make a game, honestly, man, I would blow everybody's mind. So I would make a game that in one game is so many different genres of games. So way like a year ago, whatever, on Stadia Source, probably not that long ago, we were all discussing what type of game could you imagine Google do, because the cloud is infinite. This is before SG&E closed. And I said, I will have a game where you would be like Avengers flying around. Sorry, I said that. But then you could get into the Quinjet and then fly off the planet, and it would be a space game, right? but then you could land on another planet and it'd be like a battle royale. On that planet, it'd be you have to get a team, and like this will all be live, and this would all be multiplayer. So every different person you see will be a real person, and it would be like unlike anything else, because typically a game is one type of game, and or you buy that type of game, but it would be a game that would have so many different parts to it. Like if you think of a Destiny is kind of cool. It has PvE. It has PvP, and it has PvE, whatever it's called.
Alex just summed up your game. He said it would be like GTA 5, Skate 5, Avengers, and No Man's Sky all meshed into one.
That's why I like Crata. That's why I like Crata. There's a lot of little, things in there. If I was going to make a game, it would be kind of like your duck game, except instead of ducks, it would be raise head. So just have little raise head, and you have to shoot little raise head.
Have you ever seen Duck Game? Do you know what it is?
I don't
have to look it up.
I'll have to share a video with you guys. It is phenomenal, man. It's quick.
I'll ask my Twitch boy Squids. He's my Twitch guys, or Switch guys, so I'll get him to stream it up if he's got it.
It's quick. It's kind of got like Olympic theme where like you play the rounds for points, and then at the end there's like a podium, so you get first, second, third, it's cool, man. It's a really easy, quick game. I used to love playing it with my kids. We used to laugh our butts off because when you're done, you can sit there and like spam the A button, and you can make your duck go quack 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 quack. Like it's just stupid, silly stuff like that, right?
I like it.
Crow Resin, what's up?
I'm gonna make mine a live service, and then every time there's somebody we hate who says something negative about Stadia, then they become the new picture that you have to shoot.
Nice.
So. No, it starts off as Ray and Duncan, and then it just kind of goes from there.
I don't know what kind of game I would create, man. I really don't. I was always a big fan of, and maybe this is my RPG vibe coming out. I was always a big fan of like those choose your own adventure stories, and I know that's what RPGs try to do with, how you get to control the narrative of the game, but it's not quite as cut and dry as choose your own adventure. You may not know what the outcome is coming up.
So pretty much what Fable was supposed to be.
Exactly. Yeah.
The dream they sold you with Fable.
Yep.
Man, if it would have been what they said it was going to be. Yes.
And Fable was still a good game, but it wasn't what they first announced, in my opinion, what it was going to be. So
no, me neither.
I don't know. That's a good question there, Lord Gaming Man. I like that.
Back in the 80s. We used to have those, those books where you get to a point and then you're like, do you want to go left? Do you want to go right? If you go left, go to page 80. Yep. You want to go right, go to page 90, right?
You were showing it on Retro Rewind.
We've talked a lot about that on Retro Rewind, which is Sundays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Every other Sunday. This Sunday coming up, we've got Codex and Cloud Gaming Lee on the show as guests this week. So
man, that's going to be a wholesome show and a banger at the same time.
Yeah, we're going to be talking a lot of movie gaming stuff.
You better be careful. Codex is going to steal the show.
Probably.
So let me just bring up this because I want to have this conversation. Like I've talked about one of these things before, but I just want to actually talk about it on the show. So let's just, and we could table at the same time. So the new Nintendo Switch is coming out called the OLED. So because the screen is OLED, and also the Stream Deck is coming out. So let's just topic real quick. 2 handheld devices. I don't know if any of you guys are Nintendo guys. I'm just not a Nintendo guy, so it didn't move the needle for me. But I personally feel like from looking at everything, like I got a list of things. So it's gonna have a bigger battery. It's gonna have a bigger screen. It's gonna have a better looking screen because the OLED. It's gonna have a better kickstand. It's gonna have a wired Ethernet port on the
You want to start, Jeff?
Yeah, well, I want to pivot to the Stream Deck. How can they call it a Stream Deck? Elgato's had a Stream Deck,
it's
another
Steam.
Product.
Steam Deck.
Oh, Steam.
But it's so close. That was the first thing that popped into my head because when I told my son about it to look it up, he was like, "I know what a Stream Deck is," and I was like, "How do you know? It just got announced today."
Can I tell you guys something funny? So somebody was really mad at me. They said, "Oh, you're going to say trash." Okay. So what happened in my video where I called it trash was I recorded the video and called it Stream Deck. And I didn't realize till I Googled what it looked like just to get a picture. And I Googled Stream Deck and I was like, wait, I know the Stream Deck. What? I was like, oh, damn, I called the Stream Deck is Steam Deck. So I had to go back and cut out the audio and replace it with something. I said, I'm just going to make this video one of those crazy videos. So that's why every time you hear it say Steam Deck is trash, because I accidentally said Stream Deck and not Steam Deck. But
no, it's crazy. It's so close, and I know that it's two different things when you actually go to get your patent or whatever you're doing there. But it is so close. Like
I'm surprised that they didn't get any backlash, or maybe they will get backlash from Elgato. Right? Because it is so close. I don't. Again, that it's U.S. Well, I don't know U.S. patent
The reason
law.
why it probably wouldn't is Steam is one of the biggest things when you think of PC gaming, right? So if you think of Steam and you say it's Steam and not Stream,
Elgato's a huge company too.
It is,
but the purchase games off of Steam is like the end all be all of PC,
right?
Period. So it's a big deal for it to be the Steam Deck because it's a handheld PC. Real quick because I made a whole video on it. I just personally think it's going to be cool for PC people, but for me, I feel like it's dated. Reason being, when I watched the video on IGN, they explained stuff. I was listening for one thing.
And they said, play it at his grandma's house.
They said, no, my mother-in-law's. So they said, come on, you always remember that. Why you screwed up this time? But so when he said, the question was asked, will it have any way to connect to mobile data? He said no, and I said, ooh. Because personally, I was mad at Stadia when it first came out. And xCloud, you could use mobile data. That means I could walk out my door and continue playing if I choose to continue playing and if the circumstance was right? So when I was playing at the lake, watching Ryzak on his channel playing, that's mobile data. So to come out with a Steam Deck, and once you walk out the door, I know people's like, but you can download your games. Well, mother effer, I like playing multiplayer games with my friends. So what about me? So for my use case, once you walk out the door, it's done. So for me, it's like in 2021, it should have been able to somehow, even because people like to do hotspots, right? It should have had some type of way.
Wait, hold on. Does it connect? It connects to Wi-Fi.
It does. So there's Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere.
Right. So I have.
You can hotspot your phone.
I have two Google phones right here. So even before Stadia was mobile, I would turn one of these phones into a hotspot, and then I would connect this phone to this phone through the hotspot, and then I would still play.
You know what's not free? Hotspot. I'm not paying extra. I got unlimited data, but I would have to upgrade my thing to get a hotspot. So here's my thing, Jeff. Okay. I'm just saying.
If you that does okay. So that's different than in Canada, right? I just turn on hotspot and it just uses my right. I have 20 gig a month. I don't use 20 gig a month mobile. So right.
Yeah. So
I don't have
to
pay.
I shatter that. I watch YouTube all day sitting at work. When I shatter that.
Wouldn't you not be on Wi-Fi?
No, not at my job.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no. Not at this job I'm at now. But so my thing is this, because I could be here's my thing. I'm not a PC guy anyway, so I'm not just crapping on it, but I'm crapping on it for tech. I love tech, right?
You have a laptop. So how are you not a PC guy? Not a PC gamer guy?
I never ever I never downloaded a game on a PC like to play. Like I'm a console guy. But if what I'm saying is in my certain circumstance, right? I could walk out the door and still play Stadia or xCloud or whatever in the cloud. I personally feel in 2021, the Steam Deck should be able to do exactly what I'm able to do now, right? But it can't. This is what I'm saying. Now, if I pay extra for a hotspot and do that, I guess that'll work.
Yep. And again, we can always go back to won't be for you, but it might be for somebody else, right?
Correct.
I think that
correct.
In my case, just to give a different angle, my son plays through nothing but Steam right now. He didn't even want me to renew his Xbox Live because he just refuses to play on Xbox anymore. He's built himself a custom PC, and it's superior to anything that these consoles are putting out. He's hardwired. He's got great connection. He can, he's got multiple screens, so he can have his game up. He can have his Discord over here, chatting with his friends. Like, you can't do that with a console, right? I mean, I guess you could do it with your phone.
What my son does and my kids do in their rooms. Yes, now they're in the other room across because they're playing GTA on the PlayStation because that's the only place to play it.
Yeah.
Right. Or at least they're both playing together on thing.
But now they've made it to where even, some of those console games are going on, right? I mean, Steam has oh my God, Steam's library is ridiculous, right? If Steam did cloud gaming, it'd be over. It'd be over because their library is bigger than anybody's.
Well, closest you can get to that is GFN. As close as you're going to get to that.
It is, but you're still having to buy the game and then pay for a service. Why not cut out the middleman, Steam, and just do your own? Why let them have that, in my opinion? But anyway, I went ahead and I did the reservation for did I do the 512 or did I do the 256? I don't remember, whatever the middle one was. I went ahead and did the reservation for my son. Now, because I haven't been on Steam for a long time, I had to wait until Sunday to do it, and my reservation won't be ready until Q2 of 2022. Reason I did it is because my son has a huge Steam library, and he wants to. He doesn't want to play Stadia as much as I've tried to get him. He doesn't want to play xCloud, even though he's had Xbox games. He's so tied into that right now that he just wants to play his Steam library with his Steam saves. He's got certain characters on those games, and he wants to be able to bring that data over. So for him, that's going to be really cool. The Switch, I love Nintendo. I got rid of my Switch a long time ago because my hands are too big for it. It hurts my hands to sit there and hold it in my hand for too long and play.
I bet that damn right thumb, dude, because it's similar shape
right in
as
here, man.
The right thumb trying to reach the analog.
Yes.
Oh man. And my hands are small.
So I think that they did a really good thing by making the kickstand bigger. I do like that, but it's not a modern upgrade to me.
Yeah, at all.
If you were gonna. And I think that part of my problem is that there were so many people that hyped up rumors to be like 4K screen and this and that. And then it was like, you're all like, yeah, Nintendo's going to announce this. And that should have been the upgrade like a year after the Switch came out.
Yep.
Not 3 years later. So, and I think that Nintendo is crazy. And now I know there's a lot of speculation that with this new one, with the fact that they have the Ethernet, port for the base and things for the dock, maybe they're going to go ahead and get into some of the cloud gaming. I think Nintendo is the perfect platform for cloud gaming, and the Switch is the perfect thing for cloud gaming. To your point, you don't have the mobile data, and I have said to you several times too, now you have another device to charge. Yeah. You've got another battery to keep up with. And in my job, I take care of things with batteries all the time. Batteries go bad, man.
So can I say something real quick before I forget? Can I say something real quick before I forget? So you were earlier saying how you love that because I'm tied this in with your son, and this is why I just like Stadia. And you were saying how if you spend $50 a month, you could play games, and then if you realize you like them or you don't like them, right? If you like them, maybe you'll buy it on Stadia, or you could just play it over there. And then your son is saying like, dude, I don't even play my Xbox. Just cancel the thing. I'm only playing this. Here's my thing with Stadia. And if I was like Ace, again, I bring up Ace because he's the guy that said, dude, you need to play everything on the cloud. Like Duncan said, everything needs to be subscription. But here's my issue. Your son makes my personal point. He's in an ecosystem where most of his friends are probably playing on PC. So if he starts playing on Xbox and most of his friends on PC, it does nothing. If I get heavily invested in people's like, but dude, just get GFN. And I'm like, dude, I'm not a PC guy. So yeah, I know any game I buy for GFN, I could actually play on a PC. Because a guy Jersey was like, you could download it on a PC, you could do amazing stuff, right? But my ecosystem where I play with people is Stadia. And so if I get die hard into Xbox, right? Either way, that's like, it would be a single player thing, I guess. Like I even told myself, I never played no. What I'm saying is I never played it. I'm not saying it's only single player games. What I'm saying is for me, I would just, because I want to play with my friends. I am the use case for multiplayer. Yep. I stopped buying single player games because I play them, beat them, and I'm done. So I game fly and just rent them, right? So for me, I feel like, so that's my whole thing is I love that Stadia allows you to buy a game and you can play a little cheap or old games on Pro. But I feel like I'm not, if I pay to get everything, like it's
the download thing for me, man. It's the download thing because with the Steam Deck.
Did you see me troll an Xbox yesterday?
Yeah, I did. You're still going to have to, you're still going to have to download the games onto, the SSD or onto a micro SD or some flash drive or something to be able to carry because those files are so big. And then guess what? You're still going to have to take that memory. You're still going to have to plug it back into your computer and you're still going to have to update it. And if you want it faster, because if you're, let's say in my son's case, right? And this isn't everybody, I get that, but my son is hardwired. So he has a way better connection on his PC than he does wirelessly through his phone. And we have very good internet. Okay. We have very, very strong internet. I think I'm like 850 up and 840 down. Like we have very good internet through Wi-Fi, but I don't get that through Wi-Fi, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, we do.
He could do the updates from the Steam Deck with all that plugged in, but it's going to take a lot longer than taking that out and plugging it into PC. Now he's got to be here, or what happens if we're at the hotel and he's on the hotel Wi-Fi and that damn speed's, not good. So he's going to sit there. He can't even play his game
did you
until the download
Monday
gets
from
done.
the hotel Wi-Fi?
Yeah. And I think, when I do hear people say, oh, you can play this game through Game Pass, you can download it to your PC. You still have to update it. All of the Game Pass games that I play are through the cloud now. I have some games downloaded on my PC from, from Game Pass, but I don't even touch them anymore because I'm so spoiled by the no downloads. That's really the way that I have stayed tied to the Xbox ecosystem is now that they have xCloud, that's a little bit more mainstream, right? So I'm so spoiled by the download thing, man. And we're all older guys. We all have jobs and we're adults and this and that. We don't have time. We're getting spoiled by this, whatever. He's a 13-year-old kid and he's got his friends that he wants to play with. And he's still very much in that lane of, no, Stadia's not cool with my group, and I'm like, brother, you could be like the first streamer of your group on Stadia. Maybe you could help he's not confident enough in himself to do that. And one of the things he says is, all of your friends are older. Like, I don't want all these older people coming into my stream. Like, I want people my own age. And let's be honest, guys, they're not here with us, right? So it is a little bit different for him. We'll see how it goes. I may not even get it, but I did go ahead and reserve it. We'll see what they say over the next while. But does he want it? If that's what
does he want it, or did you just say, "Oh, this would be cool for you"?
I showed it to him, and he freaked out.
Okay.
He was like, "Oh my God, you mean I could take my Steam games on the go?" And I was like, "Yeah, but you could do that with my laptop if you want." And he's like, "No, like I can hold it in my hand, like." And then,
but in the laptop is different.
But in the same token, he plays keyboard and mouse.
Yeah,
he didn't even play controller anymore.
That's the thing. Most PC, I watch all these PC people getting quote unquote hard on, right? And I'm like, but PC people, like the guy Jersey, he said to me, dude, I don't care about traveling and playing games. When I come home and sit there and I got my powerful PC, the people who are PC guys, they hate handheld stuff. They swear they don't care about gaming on the go. They swear by it. I don't game on the go.
You mentioned no mobile data, but again, I don't know about the US, but you'd have to get a SIM card. You would probably have to get another another line with your, I'm just speaking for Canada, right? I'd have to go to talk to Rogers. They would rape and pillage me for another line. So I could get me by the short and curlies and stick it so I could put the SIM card in the thing so I could hold mobile data, right? So from their perspective, I could see why they wouldn't do it because that's a whole, and then plus there's overhead. They need a receiver in there, right? So I could see from their perspective and from the engineering.
Did you see my video?
No, I can't.
My video,
the 27-minute intro video part.
No, my video said that there is a better option. And my better option, personally, I feel like foldable phone. There you go. It got a way better screen. It's a 4K screen.
Yeah.
You can make it small, put it in your back pocket. It got mobile data. It got everything I could do. The screen is even bigger. My screen.
I know, but I was just answering your point about why it doesn't. You know, you don't like it, or it doesn't have mobile. I'm like, because there's a whole engineering piece that has to go with it, right? And that's right. There's a whole engineering piece, and
listen, that ain't my fault.
I'm just, you know, we're no
yes men.
Shout, I'm just
saying, in 2021. You try and come out with, and again, like I heard someone else say, well, think about it. So in 2 years, when they make the next one, right, we'll have some better advancements, whatever. Again, it's the whole thing of why we love cloud gaming, not even just Stadia, because it's no longer a box under your TV that's eventually going to die or get old or break. Like I literally went and bought a Google Chromecast with Google TV yesterday, not for Stadia, right? And I'm making a video because I'm going to show it. I just want to watch Netflix sometimes. And I turn on my PlayStation that has my Netflix and my Disney and all that. And the PlayStation got an update. I'm like, damn, can I just watch a show? Right. So me personally, that in 2021, I want things to be this, like Isaac said. Oh man, you know, I don't even play my games on that's downloaded because then you got to do this, you got to do that. So we just kind of want more things. What happened with cloud gaming is it snuck in there. For the people who don't play cloud gaming, they're like, I could care less. I don't get it. But if it's like Duncan said, one of the things I wanted to mention is the next F1 isn't going to be on Stadia, right? So he's like, watch the people that leave and buy it somewhere else. They're going to be glued. I said, I hear you. Some people are going to buy a PlayStation 5 and be like, whoa, this is cool. Some people are going to buy a new Xbox, say this is cool. But those same people are going to miss some things that Stadia gave them, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, I feel like I can't turn back the clock. I literally stopped playing my PlayStation. I got 2 of them. I gave away my Xbox to a friend and said, you can have it because I don't play it. Because what the cloud gives me, I like so much, you know. And some people might not.
After my stream last night, I thought, I'm going to do my promo video for this week for Friday Night Retro on my channel, which is Gran Turismo 6. After I gave up waiting for it to download all the updates. So, and I recorded the video this morning. That's why I didn't publish it and sent it to everybody and, you know, promoted it this morning. I couldn't finish it last night because it was just doing updates. I'm like, I give up. I'm tired. I'm going to bed. And it was still only at like 40%. I'm like, oh my God. It was like, and I went away. I did a bunch of came back and it was at 40%. I said, I give up. I'll deal with you in the morning. Right.
You talk about your phone with the 2 screens. You know, when I first started playing Stadia, I actually went out and bought a Chromebook, and I found one on sale. And you know, I wasn't really paying attention to some of the things that we needed. Hey, Legend Ariel's in the house. What's up, Ariel? And so I bought a Chromebook. It was on sale at Walmart or something. It was like $189 because I'm a cheap bastard. And I was like, all right, sweet. So I got this little laptop, and I can have it in bed, and I can play, and I can put my headphones in. That's my, not mess with my wife, and blah, blah, blah. And I was stoked. And then I got it, and it played like shit. Let me say that again. It played like shit. Yeah. And what I came to find out was that you have to have a decent Wi-Fi card.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So I did a lot of research on a lot of different platforms, and I think it was actually Reddit. It was a Reddit post that said the Lenovo Duet. The Lenovo Duet is the way to play Stadia. So I went out and I sold my Chromebook, and I went and I bought one. And it's great, man. Oh, you guys can see all that. It comes with this little, magnetic keyboard, and I'm over here. There we go. It's great. It's great, and it served its purpose. But then I was like, I want to get into the streaming thing, and I tried setting it up through this, and I was like, oh, this isn't going to work for streaming. So then I went and I bought the laptop, and now I'm like, oh, well, I don't need this anymore because I can do the same thing with the laptop now. So it sits over here, and I don't ever use it. But for people that aren't in that same boat of trying to do the same things with it, the Lenovo Duet is fantastic. But again, you got to be on Wi-Fi, right? And you can't take it to your mother-in-law's house and sit there and not pay attention to her and the kids, and sit in the corner with yourself playing your Avengers video game. You got mother-in-law all over there. Anthony, what are you doing over there playing the video games? And you're like,
she hangs out with my wife.
His mother is Edith Bunker.
It's not his mom. His mother-in-law.
Your mother-in-law is Edith Bunker. And I think it's funny that Razak, some guy in his 30s, thinks he's old. Anyways.
Yeah, right? You talking about?
Hey, look, man. Okay, I'm going to be 40 at the end of this year. Okay, so you can only say the 30s joke for another like 3 months.
I know, and I'm going to milk every second of it that I can.
I know you want to talk
next decade. It's going to break my little heart.
You want to talk the F121 thing, and I'll let you.
Well, yeah, if you want to mention, I was going to ask you, do you want to mention X Defiant?
I'll let you talk about the F1 thing.
Well, I'm not a fan. 2K is not bringing NBA 22 to Stadia yet.
Right.
F1 doesn't do anything for me. I'm an American. We don't watch open wheel racing, and unless you are into NASCAR, you don't really watch racing at all. So
yeah.
You know, F1, the F1 news is not a big deal to me. It sucks in the grand scheme of things because we always want to see games come to the platform, right? But you know, I'll plead the fifth on that one, and it's not a big deal to me. It's not a deal.
Let me say this, right? I'm gonna sum it up for me, right? I'm a huge wrestling fan, and if WWE 2K, I said this to Duncan, right? And I said WWE 2K don't come, I'm gonna have a problem. And then as time went on, I think of Meg, and I've never let it down because she said this on Stadia Vets thing, or it might have been your show, Ryzak. Anyway, she said she was a die-hard fan of Fortnite, and Stadia came out, she loved it, but it had no Fortnite. And she said all she did was stream Fortnite. She said she liked the platform so much, she said, you know what? I'll find something else because I like the platform so much. That's how I am. I can't go back. So if WWE 2K don't come, then guess what? I'll play it when I go see my brother. Like I used to have a wrestling league. So, we're all excited like, oh, the game, but we get together and play it. I'll play it when I go to my brother's house, But for me, I like the platform that much. One game, I said it before, Stadia does about 5 things right, whereas another platform might do 2 things better, right? But it's not knocking those 5. So listen, well, the people are like, oh, F1, what's going to happen if F1 doesn't come? Well, look at me. I'm a wrestling fan. If WWE 2K22 don't come, well, I'll survive. But I ain't leaving my state.
2K isn't bringing NBA 22 yet, right? I'm a big NBA fan, not as big as NFL, but right. Now, if 2K doesn't bring their new NFL game to Stadia, I'm not even sure they're going to bring it out to any console. But anyways, if they don't bring it to Stadia, I'll probably buy it and stream it on something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if Marvel Avengers never came, I'd be like, dang.
Man, you made me buy Marvel Avengers when it was on sale, and I still don't think I've gotten through the very first part of it. So
you need to play it with me, man.
Yeah, I'm at one point. I think it's the very first point where you go into the mini map thing, and you got to go to that snowy tundra area, and I can't stay on that pad long enough beating those big ice throwing guys. They always kill me, so I'm not very good at the game, I guess.
Yeah, you're just not doing something right. But
yeah, probably not.
You got to play more Blue Fire, dude.
Blue Fire is good. I'll be honest with you guys. I love Moonlighter, man. That is my jam right now, dude. I love Moonlighter.
I have not.
I love it.
I have not played that yet.
Let's do it. I've got to do it. Maybe you weren't segueing there.
Oh, no. You were gonna do what? I was gonna say. Do you guys think X Defiant could be that thing to scratch the Call of Duty itch?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. So, and that was my segue. See, we're linked. We got this. X Defiant.
But we're gonna be linked with my wife.
Maybe that's why your wife and I are linked, is because I'm linked with you. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. X Defiant is the newly announced game from Ubisoft. It is going to be a free-to-play, fast-paced first-person shooter. It's going to be brought to you by some great minds from Ubisoft and one of the greatest teams that brought you the first few Call of Duty games. The first few Call of Duty games are the best Call of Duty games in my opinion. So for me, the fanboyism is real, and I am super stoked. Super stoked because you guys know I'm a Call of Duty guy. I don't play Call of Duty that much anymore because it's just gone away from its roots for me. Call of Duty 2, Call of Duty 3 was trash, but Call of Duty 4, Modern Warfare, that was my game. That's the one that I like super excelled at and did all this stuff. So one of the things that I loved about that game was just how smooth it was. Those guys went on to make Titanfall. Titanfall is such a smooth game. I don't know if you ever played Titanfall. It's a fantastic game. I have extremely high hopes for this. I signed up to test it. I hope that I get an invite. If you guys get the invite and you don't want to play it, let me know. I will. But I do. I think that this is going to be one of those things like what we saw just happen with Rainbow Six, like what we saw with Cyberpunk back in December. These are the kinds of things that I've said for a long time. We do need these games, guys. The indie games are great. They're fantastic. We do need some of those older games too. You know, those are important to build, you know, the library up from people that have a good experience with those games. But the fact that this is coming to us with the others, the fact that if the others, you know, find cheaters and things coming along, and then you've got that Stadia niche of the no cheaters. Yes, I am extremely excited. I can't wait to get my hands on it, and I don't know how you guys feel about it, but it's going to be fantastic, and I'm probably not going to put it down when it comes out. So Nimbus, Alex, if you're still here, I know you're a big Rainbow Six guy. I still can't get into Rainbow Six. It's too slow for me, but run and gun is my game, baby. And that's exactly what this is going to be. And I freaking excited. I can't wait.
Now, Jeff said before he's not a first-person shooter guy. So what are your feelings, Jeff?
I'm just old and I can't run and chew gum at the same time. So to run and shoot, do you watch me in Red Dead?
I see you shoot Ray all the time.
Even with auto aim on, I'm like.
I see you shoot Ray quite a bit.
I think Lee let me kill him when he raided my stream the other night, just because he just felt bad for me because I wanted to leave. I said I can't leave until I kill him. He just stood there letting us. Oh shit!
So
I'm not that. And my son's in the other room. They're laughing at me because he's played some games with me. I'm just not that good at those games. I mean I don't like them, and I didn't buy Siege because again I'm just not good at those games.
Shoot, at $15 though, it was a steal. You should have gotten that joke.
Yeah, but if you're
it was 20 in Canada.
Like I always say, a deal is only a deal if you're going to utilize it. Like when Borderlands was on sale for like $10.
I've played it a couple times though, and again, I look at value of things differently, right? Maybe it's because I make my own money and I pay my own bills and I budget things, but $15 for me to even have 2 hours of entertainment with it. That's the price of a movie and popcorn.
Yeah, sure.
For 2 hours.
That's gone. You watch it and it's over. Yeah.
So for me, that's a great deal. $15, and I got to use all the operators, and I'll probably still touch it again from time to time.
Well, see, that's what's cool because again, what I'm driving home. So if you guys are watching this, like Stadia. It's the ecosystem that I prefer. First of all, I like the platform, but I get to play with you guys, right? Mm-hmm. Like Jeff was talking about. So there was that thing that said, "What's the top 5 games you're looking forward to?" It was like, "What's the games you're looking forward to?" One of them I put on there was Animal Royale. I remember Jeff streaming it, and I'm like, "Dude, when that comes out, I'm gonna be on it, right?"
Yep.
But guess what? I'm gonna be playing with my friends that I watch stream content throughout the week. So Ryzek, you might one day, I might do a tournament or something with Rainbow Six. I might be like, oh, we need another guy.
I'll join it. I know I'm not going to win, but I'll join it.
But still, so
and yeah, I love watching you guys play. If I see, I see, Stadia Pro William playing it, I jump in and I'll watch him play. Yeah. And I see you guys playing it, I will watch you guys play. I just know, and I look at it, I'm going, oh, I couldn't do that. I'm just not that good at those types of games. I'm not good at any type of game, but I'm less good at those games.
So let me give you my thing on X Defiant. I personally think Stadia does need this, but here's the bigger picture. Ubisoft is a big company. Assassin's Creed is popular. Division, their games become staple games, right? Everyone heard of their games. I got a feeling they're going to kill it. They were talking about the gunplay, and it's going to be like a kind of hybrid game. Me personally, it looks like Resistance. If anybody didn't play Resistance Part 3, so I got a feeling it's going to be just a regular game everybody's heard of. Now it's tackling an interesting market. Typically, battle royale games are free, but it's going to be a free first-person shooter multiplayer mode, and it will rival Destiny because the Crucible is free, and then Halo. The new Halo's multiplayer mode will be free. Call of Duty's multiplayer mode isn't free, only the Battle Royale. So it's going to be interesting, and it's going to be, I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be big, and the fact that it's going to be on Stadia.
I think it's more of a mix between Call of Duty and Apex Legends from the video that I saw.
Apex reminds me of.
Yeah, very fast-paced, and the fact that you can customize the guns and things and swap out characters and stuff. Yeah, exactly.
And
so it definitely gave me that vibe.
And clearly Ubisoft as a developer has spent the time and figured out how to port their games to Stadia. Right. Man. So whatever, and they probably yes, I know Google's making it easier and they're coming up with their own APIs and there's all this other stuff I can get into and what all that means. But they probably built their own libraries to easily convert their games from whatever they're using into, the Linux Stadia, universe.
Yep.
Right. So now
they've done the same thing, for Luna. Don't it's a Ubisoft thing, not a Luna or Stadia thing. Like
I do want to bring up. I'm glad you mentioned Luna because I kind of want to ask you something about that.
So they probably and whereas EA. They had an agreement to bring 5. They brought the 5 easy ones. They just don't want to invest the time and money, not even to make a good game, but to port it over to other things. Yeah. So,
well, it's not in the game anymore for EA. It's in the pockets. So
it is.
Yeah, but if you're gonna make it easier to port, but let me ask you guys this.
Hold on, I'll say one last thing about X Defiant. The only thing I'm not sold on with it is the name. Kind of a lame name.
I like it because of when they show it. They show the X and the D is in circle in yellow, so it looks kind of cool to me. I'm like, dude, that was pretty cool. Yeah. It's Defiant is the name, but they put the X, but they also keep the D with the X. X Defiant.
Maybe it'll grow on me, but for right now, it's kind of like. I am excited though.
Here's something I want to segue into.
What's the release date?
So I think August the 5th or somewhere around there is when they're supposed to start sending out keys to folks to try it. And the big push, and this is, I said this on Retro Rewind, Jeff, when we were talking to the game creator, and I've said this about Sky Climbers too. They've made it known that they want to try to get this in people's hands because they want feedback. They want you to tell them what's wrong with the game so that they can make a really good game. Yep. And I love that method, right? You reaching out to your fans.
Grime is coming out in a couple of weeks. They did the free beta or the free demo or whatever. You guys saw me streaming it, right? I went and downloaded it. I went and played it. I'm in their Discord. I've gave them some feedback. Whether they use it or not, I don't know.
But Ryza, were you going to get to why they don't make it in the cloud?
As far as the testing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say that, but I love that these developers are now starting to see value in getting their product, even in an early state, into the hands of their consumer or of their player for the feedback. Look, I want you guys to play this game for a long time. What can we do to make it better, right? Yeah. This is what we've come up with right now. What ideas do you guys have? And a lot of people are like, oh, well, that's not the way they should do it because – that's my creativity and my idea, and I'm not being paid. I want to play the game. I want to play the best damn game that I can. Yeah, I got no problem giving feedback. They can just let me play it and forget everybody else that thinks that way, and I'll just play it and I'll give you feedback, and we'll make a hell of a game. Right. But I wish they would do that stuff in the cloud because it's just make it easy for them.
That's a challenge. So sorry, Anthony. It is a challenge. The Sky Climbers. I supported their Kickstarter. I think we all did.
I did.
And they sent me, I got the email and, I had to answer all those questions about which plushie I wanted because I paid extra and I got the plushie and whatever else. And,
I'm not 10.
and it asked me where I wanted, my keys and whatnot, and for the alpha code, and Stadia was on there, and I went, oh, wait a minute, is that right? Because I thought
they said that.
I thought the alpha was only going to be PC, so I tweeted them and I messaged them, and they came back to me and said that was a mistake. We can't do that sort of thing with Stadia. Stadia won't let us do alpha testing-y type things. And then when I went back, it was off the page. Yeah. So they saw, because I said, I'm a Stadia guy. Because if you're going to give me that option, right? So they said that was our bad. So I went, so I didn't I didn't fill it in until I got the answer. They came back to me and said, our mistake. When I went back, the page was corrected.
I think
way back when on Stadia Source, when they was a guest and I was on that episode, no, I wasn't. I wanted to be on. I'm not gonna get into being screwed out of being on that episode. But anyway, I watched the episode. But they actually said it on that episode that it was gonna come out on Stadia and PC first to try. So like you said, it was a mistake. But they did say that. So I guess they thought, and I guess
think they thought. Yes, I think they thought, and then they subsequently found out. Yeah,
they did.
Because everything I read, it always said the early access was PC, which I was fine with, right? But when I got to the page, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, this is new information.
They said it.
They did a couple of Twitch streams in the beginning where they invited people to come in and see how they were creating some of the characters and doing some of the things. And I actually asked the question in there about it too. And I know. We're having so much fun. We've got one more thing to talk about. If you guys need to go ahead and eat, go ahead. Nobody will mind here. It's okay.
I mind. What are we eating? What are we having? I just had burger and fries.
Just so you know, my wife is waiting for me so we could get McDonald's.
Yeah, they said that they would not be able to do it like Jeff said, but they were looking at the possibility of doing some sort of playable demo for a piece of it later on so that people could try out the game. And we've seen that happen, right?
So you know what I think? I think they personally don't like to put on the cloud, whether Stadia or not, because I think they want you to try to experience the game the way they made it and not have the people say, oh, well, it didn't. And people group in there, it didn't work well because maybe their internet's not good.
My internet's not good. This game sucks. It doesn't run in the cloud.
And it's also there's a process to get a game updated. So in an alpha state, you're probably pushing out 2 or 3 updates, easier to do on PC, right? Yep. I load up Steam or whatever. Oh, there's an update to the game. I download it. I know it's easy. But I know I do. This is off topic, but I want to end the sort of stream with a bit of a smile or maybe a question or maybe a vomit. I'm not sure. So when you guys are done, I just want to share my.
Okay, I got you. I'll just say one thing about the Sky Climbers devs. Those guys have made it very well known how much they love Stadia. Very well known how much they've enjoyed the process, how much they've enjoyed the community, and I am super excited to play that game.
You do remember that it wasn't going to be on Stadia.
It wasn't. We, the community, are the ones that made that happen.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
I may not have done their Kickstarter. I may not have done their Kickstarter otherwise.
Right.
But I saw everybody else, and I didn't want to be left out. So,
Anthony, you said you had one more thing you wanted to touch on.
Yeah, I just want to actually real quick. I didn't even know this was a thing, but when people always bash Stadia, and especially people like I'm just gonna say Duncan because he knows that he was going on and on how Stadia or Luna was gonna put Stadia out. I didn't even realize that a lot of Luna games they won't open the multiplayer. They won't allow you to play multiplayer. I was like, I didn't know that was a thing because the Dirt 5 came out and everybody's kind of pissed because it's another game that they won't allow the multiplayer. So when people say like, oh, well, Stadia player base is small, so they take long times to update something or blah, blah, blah. So apparently Luna isn't allowing not even that point, but like, oh, they wouldn't put Battlefield 2042 on Stadia because the player base is so small. Well, apparently, and I didn't hear this for sure, so I don't know if that's why they're not unlocking multiplayer, but there's a bunch of games they won't allow multiplayer. Like, for instance, Dirt 5 just recently came out, and they didn't unlock the multiplayer mode, so they're not, and this is a bunch of games. I was like, I didn't even know that. Did you guys know that Luna has
I heard some people tweeting it the other day, but I got to be honest with you guys, and I'm not trying to be that guy. I'm not trying to be a clown when I say this. I don't follow anything Luna. It doesn't, I've heard a lot of good things about the controller. Mm-hmm. I'm not this guy that's going to go and play every platform because I feel like I need to play every platform. Stadia does it for me. Luna has the subscription, but it's the same. I have nothing Amazon. I'm not in that ecosystem. I order stuff from Amazon. I buy stuff from Amazon, but I know that they've got their studios still. Ray had put a tweet out the other day of a game he was really excited to play. It did look really cool. I will admit, but what is it? New World? Yeah.
New World. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just not, I don't pay attention to it. So I think I was actually put into a tweet one day and they were like in the tweet chain or whatever. And I said something and then like their automatic thing responded to me. I'm like, I didn't even say anything about you. Like, why are you talking to me? But no, I don't pay attention to Luna.
Luna's not available in Canada. Don't at me. Yes, I know there's VPNs and there's crap that I could do. I will jump into my boy, Squid's my boy.
He loves Luna.
Yeah, he loves Luna, and I will jump in. I jump into his Luna streams, and I enjoy watching him play. I enjoy talking to him about it. It's not available in Canada. Yes, I know I could turn on my VPN and I could play and all that nonsense. Yes, I could. Right? Yes. Yep. I like Stadia. I do play some other stuff. I've been playing GFN only because I got it for free. I got the extra Premiere with my new laptop. So yeah, I'm gonna play a few GFN games. Fortnite. I am the best, oldest in Fortnite player. Can't count anybody. Et cetera, et cetera. So just saying.
Hey guys, let's see if we can wrap this up in 4 minutes. Jeff, you've got something you want to do. How much time do you need? Because I got one more thing I want to do, and I need 1 minute.
Yeah, I'll take less than that. I'm a branding guy. I screwed up. I forgot to pack this. I had it in my hand when I was packing, and I forgot to pack it. I found this nice couple who make shirts, so they made me, and you'll notice on the stream when I was away, it was a different at Jeff Janak. Nice. But again, I was brokenhearted about not having, but I got it replaced. I'm all about the branding, right? You guys know the University of North Texas?
Yes.
You guys have heard of the University of North Texas?
I have, yes.
Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
So they've come out with a new coffee mug.
Oh my God. I see it. Can I add it now or you want me to wait?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, add it. So the University of North Texas have come out with a new coffee mug.
It's a pretty bad word to be putting on our stream.
It's your episode. Why would they do that?
I have no idea.
Obviously, there's a lot of finger pointing probably going on. There's probably a lot of people who didn't either notice it or didn't pay attention to it
what is it supposed to say? Is that what it's supposed to say?
It's supposed to be UNT.
UNT, University of North Texas.
But they happened to they did
a black handle.
They put a black part of a black handle.
And it looks like
a C.
Why
would they do that?
Who didn't see that in product review,
Somebody's seen it. It was like, dude, we just have to. Nah. Come on, we just got
some kid in the bookstore was like, dude, we're gonna go ahead and pull a fast one here. Watch this. That's funny.
That's funny. Not appropriate. This is the
not
no
appropriate,
yes man.
But
this is
funny.
You know what? This is the no yes man. It's it's late. This is no yes man.
Definitely not appropriate with the topic that we had earlier that we were.
It's true.
Talking about, but,
that
whatever.
is true. I'm glad Vet has left. But
guys, did you see this? This is my buddy. This is my buddy Brian. Okay, Brian and I are buddies now. He's been on 2 shows of Game Over. Okay, we're borderline family at this point. I'm just going to go ahead and call it what it is. Jeff was invited to play games with him during the show, and I don't know if Jeff will take him up on it, but he said, shout out to my fellow Google Stadia player, Jimmy Fallon. On Jimmy Fallon's little post that he had, he said, trying to explain to my friends how to play Rocket League. Look at what's under his TV. Nice white Google Stadia controller. Well, I go on down the line here. Of course, my comment's the first one because I'm the most important person on this thing here. And I said, wait just a sec. Are you subliminally trying to tell me that Rocket League is coming to Stadia, Jimmy Fallon? Do you have some inside knowledge? Do not steal my thunder because I, Ryzak, have worked way too hard to bring awareness to Rocket League coming to Stadia. Do not do that to me, Jimmy Fallon. I'll come for you. I will come for you, and I'll steal your Tonight Show away from you. That's it. That's what I got.
Nice.
Oh, I thought you wrote that, and you was going to say he wrote you back or something.
That's what I was expecting too. I was all expecting Jimmy Fallon was going to reply. I see Stadia underneath that, but is that an unrelated? I see Stadia underneath. Is that unrelated?
They just said that Stadian confirmed, and I still can't get into this calling us Stadians. It just sounds too weird to me. I don't know, man. I don't know, but that's a topic for another day. Guys, fantastic episode. I think we touched on a lot of really good points. We touched some edgy stuff. We got some serious stuff in there. It was a good fourth episode for us. Jeff, why don't you start by taking us out? Where are you going to be this week, and what do you got going on?
All right. Well, Friday night, tomorrow night, 6:30 Eastern, cranking out on the PlayStation 3 Gran Turismo. And the good news, flea markets are open again. Stores are open again. I am on the hunt for more PlayStation. I realized most of my games are kids' games because when I had my 2 and 3, my kids were little. So I've got, and I don't think people want to watch me playing Little Stewart. No, what's that? Whatever that. I have a bunch of kids games, so I need to expand the collection. Stores and flea markets and crap are open now. I can actually hit that. But this week we're doing Gran Turismo. A lot of people love Gran Turismo.
Awesome.
So, and then Sunday at 3:00, myself, Ray, William, we're going to have Codex and Cloud Game and Lee on talking Retro Rewind. And then Monday night, I will be back with my Stadia stream. Stadia Bash Community Network normal stream. And then, of course, next Wednesday, I'll be back to playing Crata.
Retro Rewind is going to be it's going to be on fire on Sunday, man. It's going to be like the most wholesome show ever. Like,
no swearing.
I know there will be no swearing. Ray is going to be on his best behavior as he usually is on Retro Rewind. He may cry a little bit when Lee comes on. Yeah, Ray's been here. So thanks for being by, Ray. Appreciate it. Anthony, what about you? What you got going on this week?
Guys, this week, so in an hour and 15 minutes, my wife and I, we do the Sandy and Anthony show. We got some stuff new. So we're going to start to do layers. Usually we call it the virtual hangout. You just sit there and talk. We do our little skits, Daisy and Duke. But my wife, she's always coming up with some elaborate what if you had this and that. And the other day she was going on and on. I said, yo, we got to talk about that on the show. So I said, what if we just have a segment that's what if, and other people could bring up their what if. So I think we're going to try that tonight. So you guys can catch us 9:00 p.m. Eastern. Jeff earlier said that you could catch him on Sunday at 3, but he didn't tell you guys 3 p.m. Eastern. And
Eastern.
Yep.
12
and
Pacific.
So that might be the last time I'm on for the at some point I gotta do my stream for the tournament thing, the summer champ Stadia, whatever. So but you guys can catch me. Just go to my channel, and now your mama knows, and I'm always make content. Probably tonight I'll have my review out, spoiler free, for what's the name of the movie?
Space
Jeff,
Jam?
what movie I just see? No, man, not Space Jam. The Escape Room, the Champions, Tournaments of Champions. That should have that soon. Tomorrow, I'll actually be going to the movies to see. Every Friday I pretty much go to the movies. But tomorrow I'll be going to the movies with Big Mike. No, man. And Big Mike and I will, outside of the theater, we're going to record our review of Snake Eyes. So that'll be cool. That'll be coming to you soon. So but just check me out. I'm all over the place. SBC and coming this Tuesday, my wife, myself, and my daughter, we started a thing. It's going to be called Triple Slam. My wife came up with the name. And instead of doing individual 1-hour streams, we're going to do a 3-hour block, but we're still going to have our own little section. But my thing will be whatever the Cowboy does. My daughter's thing will be Lena Love 18, Hang Time and Game Time. And then Sandy Beaches will have her High Tide and Good Vibes to close it out. So it's going to be pretty cool. So you guys look forward to that next week. And
awesome, man.
Looking forward to that.
Look at you doing some more family content.
Yeah, man.
Showing people a softer side of you. That's nice.
Right, Zach, you got to get your little girl streaming.
Yeah, I don't know if she's too busy. She's off trying to be a soccer superstar. So
and she got a job too. She's still working today.
Yeah, she's working now. So making that money. So nice. 15 years old, bringing home $300 paychecks every 2 weeks. That's pretty sweet. So
that's pretty good.
Yeah. But anyway,
Zach, where can we find you?
Well, first I want to give shout outs, Mr. Urban World, Dude Games, Clive, Vet. Thank you guys for coming out in the early part of the show. Ray was here. That was awesome. We had Lord Gaming Man in here. We had Nimbus Cloud Gaming in here. Sean dropped by. Sean's become a very new fan of mine, and he's freaking hilarious, man. I've been catching up on some of the stuff that he says to people, so that's awesome. Let's see, who else did we have drop in here? My wife dropped in. Crow Resin dropped in.
Yep.
Let's see, Legend Ariel dropped in. Everybody else that dropped in that possibly didn't chat, thank you guys for being here tonight. I'm Ryzak.
Love the lurkers.
Yeah, Thursday nights you can catch me right now here with these guys. First off, No Yes Men 5:30 on Thursdays. This week there is no game over. We're actually doing a double header. Well, it's not really double header because it's not back to back, but it is still 2 episodes in the same day. First up, we have Clive versus Bryant in the first semifinal, and then we have Dr. Spaceman and Ejimix at 8 o'clock. So
Clive.
5 o'clock and then
Clive.
8 o'clock, and we will find out who is going to make the final for season 1 of Game Over. I'm starting to put out some highlight videos right now from the episodes as we lead up to those matchups next week. So be on the lookout for those. I got quite a bit to get through still. Got 2 of them out last night. They do take me quite a while because I've got to jump back and forth between my phone and my computer. And anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but this Saturday at 6 a.m., I am going to be streaming for the Summer Community Championships. So 6 a.m. Eastern. I know most of you won't be up, but I did it so that I could get some of the European guys in and talk about their games. They're going to be doing, oh God, what is the game again? Pixel Junk Raiders. Then I'm probably going to play my Pixel Junk Raiders stream on Sunday sometime. I just haven't picked who I want to do my commentary. Last week I did Hitman. Anthony did Hitman last week. It's a good time, man. It's a good time.
Who did better in Hitman? Who did better in Hitman?
I mean, what are we judging off?
Between you two, between you, who was the fastest of you two? I only care about you two. You're the only two I can see.
It was me.
Well, I didn't even accomplish it, but I will say Ryzak was the one telling me what to do, so he totally was steering me wrong.
He was like CIA, man. I was in his ear the whole time. Yeah. He was like, oh yeah, okay, good.
He had that little ear. Did he have that little earpiece like they they do in event?
But the problem is that he was delayed, right? So like he would be like moving, I'd be like, all right, stop at that door, and then it would catch up, and he'd be like a mile down the road, and be like, oh God, you got to go back. But no, great. I'm not going to be doing anything in the 8 o'clock slot tonight. I'm going to go eat dinner and hang with my family since we got no game over. But yeah, definitely stay tuned. We might do some Minecraft on Sunday, but we'll have some other stuff popping up. I need to get another Among Us going, man. That was a good time.
That was
my wife constantly and I don't know if she seriously want to play or it's because of you, but the other night you and me were talking and she was laying next to me. She's like, tell Ryzak we should play Among Us right now. I literally ignored the hell out of her and just kept talking to me.
I just got to make sure that Ray has power and that he doesn't have another power outage because I missed not having Ray in the stream, and I know he was bummed he didn't get to play. But Vet was there. We had a good time. We had a lot of us there. So anyway, guys, thank you very much for stopping by. We'll see you next time, next Thursday. No Yes Men. Take care.
Later.